That one should be it. To my mod that let me know. Thank you. First and foremost, welcome to my mod. Muddy, watching. She's a gangster. Okay. Alright. Guess what we're doing today? We're gonna be talking about why is the left so mad about capturing a dictator? What do we want to watch?
Front page of the internet, so
let's do it.
I don't know. I just saw it on Reddit. It was on the front page of the internet.
So, just real quick for context. Jesus. The left is apparently mad. I guess I feel so silly when saying the left, but just like liberals, the left, Democrats. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them are expressing their frustration with what they believe is America acting as an imperialist country. Now, I honestly think, in my humble opinion, that their anger is very misguided, because it's like, hey, bro, so you know what? Let me just. And they still didn't kill him. Right. Yeah, so dictatorship, authoritarianism, it's not good. And honestly, even if it comes from someone like Donald Trump, I think it's a win. Is this? I can use this now. Oh, I can use this. Okay. Anyways, let's watch some liberal tears. This isn't me writing for the right or anything. I completely despise both sides. They are equally regarded.
Must suck to be a leftist. Genuine question for...
Honestly, it really must suck, bro. You're constantly whining about everything, but at the same time doing everything that you hate everybody else does. Yeah.
Them. How does it feel to be wrong about literally everything? Do you enjoy humiliating yourself? Is it some weird form of masochism? I don't exactly know. But today, in yet another mass left-wing embarrassment, a horde of actual communists, yes, that's what they were.
One thing to know about the left and today's Democrats, mostly, no, a great amount of Democratic people that lean left and are liberals, they have like this skewed, very crazy and naive idea of what communism would look like here in the US. They believe that socialism is the answer for a lot of our problems, and I don't know. To be honest, is it really? I mean, socialism means what? Let's look it up. As soon as I save my buddy over here. Well, I'm not gonna save anybody. Okay.
Zoran Mondani among them decided to hold a big protest in New York City against the U.S. capture of Nicolas Maduro. In other words, let's literally wave communist flags and rally in support of the communist dictator. Except it didn't really all go too well for two reasons, I would argue. First and foremost, objectively, you do look kind of silly staging an anti-war protest for a war that's already over or arguably never even happened, right? By the time they even made the signs and got out onto the streets, the whole thing was settled. You know, good job there. That would almost be as dumb as still marching for Palestine months after you already got a ceasefire and an end to that war. Oh wait, they do that as well, but go figure. Secondly, however, and perhaps the most satisfying aspect of this all is to watch the way in which the actual Venezuelan people, both in America and in Venezuela, are so utterly repudiating what the left wing thought was their anti-white sort of brown multiracial coalition, right? That's sort of been the guiding philosophy behind Marxists in the West for, a couple decades at least now. Hey, let's sort of build this coalition of the browns against the whites, that's going to be our form of the class war, and surely the Venezuelans are going to appreciate that we're standing up to American imperialism and colonialism, and yet you're seeing such overwhelming evidence of the opposite. Actually, it's the Venezuelan people who are the most...
And they're also arguing like the Venezuelans, they don't like this. They don't like that we went over there and like bombed their country. It's like, first of all, I feel like a lot of leftists are just completely getting everything wrong. I doubt that Venezuelans, I haven't seen any, and I'm chronically online, I doubt any of them are out there, marching the streets of Venezuela and being like, oh, we love the U.S. They're our saviors. We couldn't have done it without them. No, I'm pretty sure they're just glad that for the time being, they don't have to deal with a dictator, with someone that, practices just complete authoritarianism. Like, people would get arrested for their opinions. It's not the same here as America, because of how privileged we are. We believe everything seems so easy for us. My mom, when I was younger. Oh, bro, I can't save your ass. Okay, yes, I can. That's what I get. That's what I get for saving. Okay. He's AFK. He's AFK. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna lose a level. I should be level 8 by now, but oh shit, my bad. My bad, bro. But I haven't been paying attention. Okay. Right. I don't know, man. I don't think Venezuelans are out there like praising the U.S. Now, maybe a lot of them are like, "Oh, thank you," but it's like, okay, dude, like we just kind of helped them out for a bit. Now, are the intentions super honest? Of course not. We're doing it for the oil, and everybody knows it. Nobody's denying it, I think. This is... Why are you targeting me? Okay, let me just deal with this real quick. Because for some reason... I don't even... Oh. Dude, am I really getting beaten by these freaking... Okay, Jesus Christ.
About what the United States did, but really that shouldn't be all that surprising to anyone except communists, because communists just simply, it's very, straightforward here, don't understand anything about the world, right? That's why they believe what they believe. That's why their instincts on everything are so horrifically wrong, and I think this is yet another prime example, but let's talk about this here today, right? The communists in America versus the Venezuelans in the streets. We also have Mamdani apparently telling Trump he didn't like the fact that they captured Maduro and this should not stand, and of course no one really cares about his little strongly worded letter, but yes, he was indeed out in the streets today speaking and rallying and marching in favor of the Venezuelan dictator. You know the story. Let's get into it, though. First, though, do us a favor. If you enjoy our content, make sure you hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And that said, okay, so obviously, you know, the U.S. did a lot today. Our military with a highly successful operation. Very impressive. But here comes Mayor Mamdani, right? To say he called the president and spoke with...
Okay, hold on. Let me lock in. I hate that. I hate that guy. I hate him so much. Okay, let me just stay as far away as possible from this. Oh crap! Okay.
Him directly to register my
Also, why is Mondami someone who's mad about this? Or is this for show? I feel like he wouldn't really care. I feel like he understands. I feel like he's not dumb enough to believe we just got cooked. Okay, that's fine. I feel like someone like Mondami. Now, I'm not a fan of him. I became an X fan as soon as I heard him say that. Somebody asked him, like, what do you think about Hamas or something? And then he said, well, Palestinians have a right to defend themselves. But it's like, okay, yes, obviously. But why are you defending Hamas? He didn't not defend Hamas, is what I'm saying. And it's like, if you're gonna ride for Hamas, I don't know. To me, you just lose all credibility.
Opposition to this.
But I feel like he's not dumb. I feel like he is gonna say, "This is crazy. We should not be doing this just for the dams and the libs, just so they can, you know, simmer down and not turn on them." Because the left is vicious, just as vicious as the right. They're all crazy.
Oh wow! You know, look, we were ready to put him on trial for war crimes, but Mayor Mamdani said he is morally opposed to it. Oh, take a listen.
As well as other members of my team, I called the president and spoke with him directly to register my opposition to this act and to make clear that it was an opposition.
To what act? Exactly. To what act? To the fact that, listen, okay, this is how I am viewing it. Now, this administration is completely corrupt, just like the last one. But the way I see it is, so we did an act of aggression because we were seeking something that we needed, a resource that we've always been known to go after, right? Iraq. And while doing it, we also did a good deed. So it kind of it's like a trade-off, you know? Our intentions are pretty clear. Trump said it himself. We're going to take the oil. I mean, he was pretty straight up about it. Which, credit to him. I mean, at the very least, he's being honest about it. Anyways.
Based on being opposed to a pursuit of regime change, to the violation of federal international law.
Federal international law. Let's look that up. Wait, you know what? Shit. I cannot cancel anymore. Federal international law. So obviously, yeah, we're kind of acting like we can do whatever we want. Federal international law. Federal international law in the U.S. context refers to how international rules, treaties, and agreements interact with the U.S. domestic law. Now, again, we just captured a dictator. Let's look up how bad Maduro was. Let's just look that up. How bad? We're straight up in this channel. We cut to the chase. How bad Maduro? How bad was Maduro as a leader? Okay, right. I forgot I'm lazy. Nicolas Maduro's leadership is widely characterized. Now, also, I don't really support the excessive use of AI, but I am also not a dummy. I know AI is going to become a big part of our future. It already kind of is becoming that, so it sucks that it's wasting so much resources But it's like, hopefully we can figure it out. It sucks for the people who are the most affected by the consumption of resources by AI. So, but anyways, I'm gonna use AI, okay? Because I'm lazy and I'm also playing a game and I'm trying to just stay locked in. So you'll excuse me if I seem like I am just another bum that uses AI. I will take the L for that. Okay, anyways. Nicolas Maduro's leadership is widely characterized as a period of unprecedented economic collapse. Okay, just to keep things nice and easy to understand, this guy was which is weird. Now that he's captured, the next girl that's in charge she was Maduro's vice president, right? They have vice presidents, right? And she was like, she was like this guy's right-hand woman. Maduro trusted her, and I feel like it was pretty much the same person except in woman. Like, okay, so what do we think about that, right? I'm pretty sure she's like scared. She's like, I better not mess up because I don't want these imperialists to come after me. Just kidding. She's probably not thinking that. Wait. Let me forgot to. Okay, I need to move on to Arc after this because Arc Raiders is a lot more. It's easier to pause and talk and yap, screech about what bothers me today. Okay, these guys move fast. Okay, hold up. Give me a sec. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's continue.
As well as other members of my team, I called the president and spoke with him directly to register my opposition to this act.
What is that about? What is it? Registering his opposition? He's just letting him know, hey, this is not something I like. Anyways, we got him.
Clear that it was an opposition based on being opposed to a pursuit of regime change, to the violation of federal and international law, and a desire to see that be consistent each and every day.
And what was his response to you in that conversation?
I registered my opposition, I made it clear, and we left it at that.
Okay, well,
So
first of all, I'm not
progressive.
exactly sure what federal international law is even supposed to mean. Seems like those concepts are pretty
Okay, well, this is the thing that you guys are also dumb about. You don't look stuff up. I just looked it up. It was pretty easy to look up. I just went on Google and turned on the AI. Now, you can say, well, are you actually looking stuff up or are you just leaving it to AI to answer stuff for you? And it's like, well, I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure AI knows what it's talking about because real people fed it information. Okay.
contradictory
It's like,
with
look it
one
up.
another.
Just look it up. I just did it, and I'm pretty. I am pretty mediocre at going live and uploading videos.
But hey, I'm not one of these Venezuela protesters, although, after all, it seems pretty easy to be one of them. All you have to do is throw out random buzzwords. Federal international law, war crime, regime change, congressional approval, blah, blah, blah. They don't even know what they mean, right? They just scream. If you just kind of put those all together into a salad and throw in some, like, Iraq War 2.0, it's about the oil, all this
Well, it is about the oil. And Trump made it pretty clear that I guess maybe he made it seem like, hey, we're also gonna take the oil because it's gonna help our economy and, America first. Wink, wink. Okay, so, I mean, don't pretend like
stupid slogans.
saying
You
it.
basically
I'll
have a
say
Venezuela
it
protester,
over and
right?
over again.
Do they even know where Venezuela is on a map? Do they have any clue about what's going on?
Just as regarded
Clearly,
as
I don't
the
think that's actually the case, or else they would, not be so surprised when the Venezuelan people are overwhelmingly opposed to them, as, instead of seeing them as the heroes, right, referring there to the communists. But, of course, you did get the confirmation.
Now, you know what? Let's look up. Are Venezuelans even pissed off about this? Are they like, no, how could the U.S. do this? Why would the U.S. do this? Well, maybe they know why. Maybe they know because, we got oil. Makes sense. I found out through my extensive research that apparently Iraq's oil was a lot easier to, I don't know if it was to extract than Venezuela. Like we've known that Venezuela has oil, but the Venezuelan oil is harder to extract and something like that. So and that made me think, okay, so are we running out of options and resources? Yes, the answer is yes. Yes, we are. So, and it hasn't even been that much of a long time since we started taking other people's stuff. Hence why I brought up Iraq. There was no weapons of mass destruction, and we all know that by now. We just wanted their oil. And it's like, who's next? Are we going to have enough with Venezuela? Is that oil going to be enough? What happens after we run out? We ran out of... Or are we still in Iraq, actually? Maybe I'm just dumb. Well, I know I am, but... Okay, let me just take care of these guys, and then I'll continue yapping. Come here. Okay, beautiful. Okay. Well.
From Mamdani. Oh, he called Trump, guys, and strongly voiced his opposition and left it at that. Oh, wow. Okay, so look, we thought we had it, right? We thought it was in the bag. Maduro's in U.S. custody. He's in handcuffs. He's in jail right now. It's a successful military operation. 0 casualties. Very impressive. But, we were not expecting the last-minute cashing of the Money in the Bank contract when Mamdani was going to say he was verbally opposed. Oh, no. Well, big update here. I know people are so shocked to find this out, but President Trump did not care or acknowledge the fact that Mamdani was morally opposed to the arrest of Nicholas.
Well, of course. Why would Trump care? He doesn't care about releasing the Epstein files, even though that's what he ran on. No. Like the Democrats, he is going to protect his buddies. They're all in this big club, okay? We're just not invited. Don't believe that because one of them did this, the other one's gonna do that. No, they're all the same. Get out of my face, bro. Okay. Shit. Okay.
Maduro, as a matter of fact, here he is at the DEA in New York City, in Mamdani's own home here. I guess not really his home, but nonetheless, being perp walked through that building. So take a look.
Hey, my thumbnail.
Good night. Happy New Year.
Also, another crazy theory I have is Maduro's in on it. I don't know. Anything. I feel like anything goes at this point. Everybody's been chill because we got stuff to like distract us from everything going on. But I don't know, man. Everything that's going on is pretty insane. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
How could this be?
I mean, at the very least, it's not impossible. Let me just get this real quick. Posted anchor. What am I on? One.
Didn't they ask permission from Mamdani first before they did this? So ridiculous, but he was not alone. As you may have seen in Times Square earlier today, a group of communists, and yes, that's exactly what they are. I mean, communist flag, these orange signs that you so often see, right? Party for Socialism and Liberation. I mean, that's what they're directly here calling themselves. Decided to stage a whole protest in favor of Maduro. Take a look at some of those sights and sounds. And also,
Absolutely
notice the
insane.
type of people who are in the crowd, because...
Is it all rainbow kids? Oh my goodness, it is. Who left? Okay. I don't even care. Hopefully you also leave, because then the damage goes up. The damage that I inflict on enemies, it goes up. Okay, so let's... Come on. Come on. Where's my internet tripping? No. No, I got. If I didn't know any better, I think I was a conservative, because I was about to say I got Starlink, so I got good internet, even though I absolutely despise the Musk bullshit. Great. Oh yeah, awesome. Okay, come on. Guard breaking. Oh wait, he dropped another one. Defeating. Oh, let's fucking go. Where am I going? Okay.
Evidently, it doesn't seem like there's actually many Venezuelans among them, but check it out.
Stop bombing Venezuela!
Yeah, it's like, dude, Venezuelans are not being like, oh man, you know, this sucks. We got liberated from a dictator. Now, also, I mean, it's not like they moved on to a better option. I mean, there is still the right-hand woman. Oh, this guy was fighting a... Oh, shit, can I still get in on that? I'm not gonna. What was I saying?
The U.S. launched a massive criminal...
This is idiocracy, bro. I don't understand how libs can just like think exactly like how people act in movies. This is how comical it seems. You people are really out there being mad, and I feel like they are genuine in their feelings. I feel like they really are mad. They really believe that what we did doesn't have any positive. Okay, hold on. Yes, come to me. Maybe I should have just not used it. I'm gonna need it for bro. But whatever.
bombing campaign on Venezuela. This war has nothing to do with drug trafficking. If the U.S. were interested in ending drug trafficking, they would talk to their allies in Peru.
Yeah, so pretty transparent. They're not exactly hiding in this case who they are. You see Soviet communist flags, ANCOM flags, Cuban flags.
And it's like, bro, if any of you rainbow-colored individuals. I actually had to experience real communism. Oh my lord, you guys would absolutely lose your shit. Okay, hold on. I don't even know if I can get him. I don't even know if I want to get him. Okay, this little shit pisses me off. Oh. Okay. Okay. I feel like he should be dead. Okay, let's go. Why did I do that? I have no idea. Okay, I think I could take on the Queen, but let's get rid of these guys. Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. Let me lock in. Let me lock in. This guy's distracted. Bro! I'm trying to lock. Okay. You know what? Bring her over here. Playing it safe. I know this is mad boring. Okay, there we go. Yes, kill your own. All right. Ooh, you're dead. You dead, homie? Alright, where was that?
Supporting the Bolivarian Revolution, Freedom Front for Socialism and Liberation, all this garbage, and even the telltale protest signs. What did I say about this? How easy it is to make the slogan. So, we have some left-wing buzzwords. No war and something something oil. Oh, you put that together in the salad, right? No war for oil.
Round.
Wow, that sounds so smart. If only these American people knew that the military-industrial complex was lying to them. We're so insightful. People have never heard that one before. Except, again, I say there's a couple of problems with it. First and foremost, you say no war. Well, actually, I agree, no war for oil. I 100% agree with that.
Do you? Do you actually agree? Because, I mean, we just did it. I don't think... I mean, we could have, I guess. I don't think Venezuela's gonna say like, hey, we should go to war with you. I mean, I doubt it. But other countries, how are they gonna look at us? Those are the negatives of what just happened. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like what we did was perfectly good and there's gonna be no downside to what just happened. No, obviously there's gonna be some repercussions, and that is the rest of the world is gonna realize, okay, are these guys going to keep on getting away with whatever they want? Are we going to do something about it? Because I did see it somewhere. I saved it on my phone.
You know why? Because there is no war for oil, right? It didn't need to happen because it was basically resolved in the span of 2 hours, okay? And even as it pertains to the oil, maybe I've had a more controversial opinion on this, but sure, it's not the primary or only reason I see for, toppling Maduro. But as it pertains, frankly, to the question of the oil, why? Like, why shouldn't America have the oil? Oh, that's theft. Actually, it's not. If you look at the history of how Venezuela's oil economy developed, it's actually entirely thanks to America, and I guess a smaller percentage there goes to England. In the early 1900s, Venezuela had absolutely no infrastructure or capacity to drill the oil that was under their ground. It was American and a little bit of English companies that came in and did that for them, built all the infrastructure. By the way, built Venezuela's economy for them. And then Hugo Chavez actually came and stole it from us, right? He nationalized just seized our assets, nationalized the oil industry in the 1990s. So actually, it is our oil. We should ask for it back. But even, if you don't want to get too much into the weeds of that,
it's not our
I
oil.
would just further point out, not only did that happen, but the quote-unquote Venezuelan people, but really the socialist system that was managing it, clearly had no capacity on their own to carry on all of the oil infrastructure that we had built for them. As a matter of fact, oil production plummeted to near zero due to government mismanagement, the socialist system, and incompetence. And the so-called prosperity that Chavez and Maduro had promised for the Venezuelan people, as you can clearly see, never even materialized. So even on the front of the oil, I would frankly say that it's actually better for both American and Venezuelan people if the oil that is rightfully America's
Is it rightfully ours? I'm gonna look that up. Give me one. This is why I need to play Arc Raiders, because I cannot. I need to. Wait, what? Where are you going? Oh. Okay, just give me one freaking second. Man, this is not a good game. This is not a good game to live stream. Well, me, I can't, because I cannot multitask for it. Shit. Hold on, let me go back to what this guy just said. This was very interesting. The more you know.
Socialist system that was managing it clearly had no capacity on their own to carry on all of the oil infrastructure that we had built for them. As a matter of fact, oil production plummeted to near zero due to government mismanagement, the socialist system, and incompetence. And the so-called prosperity that Chavez and Maduro had promised for the Venezuelan people, as you can clearly see, never even materialized. So even on the front of the oil, I would frankly say that it's actually better for both American and Venezuelan people if the oil that
criminal bombing campaign on Venezuela.
These people are insane.
This war has nothing to do with drug trafficking.
What? There's no way these people are real. Okay, bro. What is it? What is it? Where's your stuff at? Whoa! Why'd you drop so much stuff? Okay. Cool. Okay. I stand with the Bolivarian Revolution. These people are absolutely demented.
They will talk to their allies in Peru.
Like, factually, this isn't something that's made up. Factually, Maduro... Oh, what? Nice. Okay, good job. Great, awesome. Sorry it took forever. Maduro was a terrible, terrible leader.
Yeah, so pretty transparent. They're not exactly hiding in this case who they are. You see Soviet communist flags, ANCOM flags, Cuban flags, supporting the Bolivarian Revolution, Freedom Front for Socialism and Liberation, all this garbage, and even the telltale protest signs. What did I say about this? How easy it is to make the slogan. So we have some left-wing buzzwords. No war and something oil. Oh, you put that together in the salad, right? No war for oil. Wow, that sounds so smart. If only these American people knew that the military-industrial complex was lying to them. We're so insightful. People have never heard that one before. Except, again, I say there's a couple of problems with it. First and foremost, you say no war. Well, actually, I agree, no war for oil. I 100% agree with that phrase. You know why? Because there is no war for oil, right? It didn't need to happen
Well, no,
because
like,
it was basically resolved in the span of 2 hours, okay? And even as it pertains to the oil, you know, maybe I've had a more controversial opinion on this, but sure, it's not the primary or only reason I see for, you know, how Venezuela's oil economy developed. It's actually entirely thanks to America, and I guess a smaller percentage there goes to England. And even as it pertains to the oil, you know, maybe I've had a more controversial opinion on this, but sure, it's not the primary or only reason I see for, you know, toppling Maduro. But as it pertains, frankly, to the question of the oil, why? Like, why shouldn't America have the oil? Oh, that's theft. Actually, it's not. If you look at the history of how Venezuela's oil economy developed, it's actually entirely thanks to America, and I guess a smaller percentage there goes to England. In the early 1900s, Venezuela had absolutely no infrastructure.
In the early 1900s, Venezuela had no infrastructure. Is that what this guy's saying? Okay, I need to look that up. Oh, look at this. Look at that. 256. But we do need this right now. And I need to find a oh no. I don't even have time. I wanted to buy another backpack, another bag, another pocket. Okay. Okay, I need to look this up after I'm done with this, and then we'll switch to Arc Raiders because I cannot multitask with this. Okay, I need to remember that. Venezuela did not have a good... And hold on, is that a really good excuse to just be like, hey, well, okay, I see what it is.
Structure or capacity to drill the oil that was under their ground. It was American and a little bit of English companies that came in and did that for them, built all the infrastructure. By the way, built Venezuela's economy for them. And then Hugo Chavez actually came and stole it from us, right? He nationalized the, you know, just seized our assets, nationalized the oil industry in the 1990s. So actually, it is our oil. We should.
So you're talking about us taking oil from another country and just believing that we have the right for that oil forever? I mean, we're pretty greedy. I feel like you weren't gonna respect any terms of services that were established anyway. Alright, come on, come on. Okay. Chillax. I don't know why it's not attacking me, but I like it. Okay.
For it back. But even, you know, if you don't want to get too much into the weeds of that, I would just further point out, not only did that happen, but the quote-unquote Venezuelan people, but really the socialist system that was managing it, clearly had no capacity on their own to carry on all of the oil infrastructure that we had built for them. As a matter of fact, oil production plummeted to near zero due to government mismanagement, the socialist system, and incompetence. And the so-called prosperity that Chavez and Maduro had promised for the Venezuelan people, as you can...
Okay, I need to look this shit up. It's because this game won't let me because it's too... I can't. Okay, let me just finish this. And then we'll move to Arc, and then I'll keep on because I really need to fact check all this crap. Okay, so just bear with me. We're gonna put up with my amazing gameplay just for a little bit. Okay, I don't have time for you guys. No! Oh! Dude, I was right there. Okay. Ah, shit, she's over here following me. Or he. Probably was like, alright, well, I trust this guy. He's probably gonna lead us somewhere cool. Nope. I was trying to get another pocket. Oh. Straight. Straight. Alright. Arrivederci. Should I put on something else in the meanwhile? Oh. I know. No, I should stay in one freaking subject. Okay. I just need to take care of this boss. No. While we wait for the boss. I won't skip any cutscenes, that way I get a little bit of time. '69, 689. We were on the verge of greatness. Is there anybody here? No. Okay. Alright. I got time, right? What do you say? Okay. Shit. Ah, fuck. Economy up until Hugo Chavez took over. Okay. The United States was not solely or directly responsible for the entirety of Venezuela's economy before Hugo Chavez took over in 1989. Rather, Venezuela's economy trajectory was influenced by a complex interplay of internal policies, global oil price fluctuations, and its close economic relationship with the U.S. Okay, oil dependence. Venezuela's economy became a heavily depending on oil production and exports in the early 20th century. So I guess like late 1900s. Ah, crap. Okay, hold on. I'll go back to this. To the boom and cycles of global economy crisis, close economic ties with the U.S. The U.S. was the primary market for Venezuelan oil. Okay, so we got oil from them. What does this say that they were able to get the oil from because of us, because we helped them out? Now I'm just scratching the surface, I know, but I feel like it shouldn't. Oh, we got more God. I don't know how I did that. Okay, I pressed B on that. Okay, hold on. I want to start practicing this, like switching. Jesus Christ. Okay, maybe I'm not that good yet. Alright, I need to lock in. This is not... I can't do the switching weapons. I feel like that's solely a, something that only PC players are good at. Because I cannot do it. Ah! Okay, I can kill this guy. Okay. Okay. But you know, did we help? That's what I needed to put. Venezuela with its own oil in the early 1900s. I feel like that's pretty fair. Boost physical damage. Yes. Yes. Okay, so the guy's right. The U.S., through private companies and government policy, heavily helped develop Venezuela's oil industry in the early 1900s, especially after major discoveries in 1922, investing significantly and gaining large concessions, turning Venezuela into a major global supplier, though this involvement eventually led to conflict over resource control. Okay, so that was the problem. But who started it? That's going to be my next question. Is that it? That's it. 68. Shit. That's it. That's all I can buy. Physical attack. Replace it for that. And that's going to be it. Did I? There we go. You know what? I don't. Oh, well. Okay.
Clearly see never even materialized. So even on the front of the oil, I would frankly say that it's actually better for both American and Venezuelan people if the oil that is rightfully America's actually...
Is it rightfully ours? Yes. Well, AI is saying no. Venezuela's oil is not rightfully the U.S.'s international law affirms that sovereign nations... Okay, so this guy's arguing, well, you know, because of this, well, it's ours. But these guys are so obsessed with following the law. Okay, hold on, let me... Shit, this is not what I missed. Okay. Oh, I'm not good at this boss. Oh my goodness, I got him. Okay, let me get all my stamina. He's still going after her. Bro, that was not cool. Come here, beautiful. What am I doing? Okay. Well. Where is it? Oh. Okay. This boss is not that hard. I remembered him being a lot harder. Don't move. There we go. Where's the other one? Oh, no, 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 no. Don't die. Don't do this to me. Okay, if... Okay, there we go. Alright. Got a better chance. Okay. No! I suck. Oh, wait a minute! That's right. Forgot. Okay. Need to be chill about this. Okay, now I'm gonna die. I'm definitely gonna die. Okay, I need to pick one. All right, well, that's that.
Right? It is returned, frankly,
I really thought I was
to
gonna
the
clutch that. Now I feel embarrassed because skill issue. I let my other compadre down, and that sucks. Okay.
control of American companies. That will help Venezuela's economy. It will help affordability and gas.
Okay, hold on. Right, so these guys are obsessed with following the rules, following the law. It's like, well, you guys don't do. It's just hypocriticism. Hypocriticism? Shit. How do you spell hypocrisy? It's just hypocrisy from both sides. Because, you know, the left, they're all about progressiveness and acceptance and, you know, we gotta be nice to each other. And then they're also like, well, is it really that bad if we don't intervene in our neighbor, I guess not that close, but this country that we need resources from? You know, it does sound bad when I say it out loud, but the left is really dumb when it comes to politics. Because they are just as biased as the right. Okay, let's move on from because I need to let's play some Arc Raiders, guys.
Prices here in America, you know, but no, I'm not going to get too much into that. I'm just going to say, this slogan, frankly, that it's about the oil, it's about the oil, is just ridiculous and stupid. And they speak about that like it's
does this guy actually believe that we went in there because we wanted to liberate Venezuela? Is that one of his points? Because little tiny bro, that's not, we don't care. We don't care about other people in other countries. It should be the U.S.'s motto that we straight up do not care about other people and what's going on with them. We just care about profiting from. Listen, I don't hate the U.S. I love the U.S. But the people that are in power and stay in power, they're not exactly good people. They took all my stuff. Can you believe that? Okay. I finally got all the reactors I needed. So now I'm happy. We can do better. But for the time being, I'm gonna go get revenge because I was killed in the most BS way possible. I wish I had the clip for it.
Bad thing. Oh, we, basically took out one of the worst dictators on earth and got something to reward ourselves for it. Amazing. But anyways, a point I've very often tried to make about anti-war protest movements, whether that's Vietnam, Palestine, now in this case Venezuela, is that while kind of framing themselves in the guise of, say, no foreign intervention, right? We're
is this guy a conservative Republican or something like that? Wasn't it your guys' whole deal that we should just America first? We should back off of other countries and we should focus on the U.S. and the people here. Wasn't that like your guys' whole thing? And now you're totally cool with we're still funding Ukraine. We're still funding Israel. We are now going into another country and taking the resources. We're not hiding it this time like last time. How we made up that Iraq was posed an international threat, but that was obviously a lie. Now you guys are cool with it because Trump is doing it, and Trump is a fresh of breath air for you schizos. So you're cool with whatever he does because, well, it's for America. He said it's for us. What was I doing? Okay. Survivor. And medium. That's not too bad.
America first. We don't want these wars. Bring the boys home. It's basically been true ever since the 1960s that these types of movements are heavily infiltrated by communists. Prime example there being, right, that many of the Vietnam protesters that are glorified in American history.
What is it with these people and defending absolute atrocities?
History kind of on both sides today. Actually, we're not protesting against the war because they just cared about the boys, bringing the boys home or whatever. Actually, those people today are all Ukraine supporters. It's not that they're against war. It's that they were against a war being fought against communists, right? They were pro-communist. They were defending the North Vietnamese, and that was their real motive there, okay? Same is true here in the case of, say, Palestine. It's not about, oh, we're just against the children dying or we're against Western aggression or something like that. America, we don't want America to be funding it. They might use those slogans to legitimize themselves.
He's right. And the prime example, I am obsessed with Hassan Piker, okay? I am obsessed. I can't stop thinking about it. He lives in my head rent-free. Anyways, that being said, prime example, Hassan. The face of the left online, okay? Let's look up Hassan Piker again. I love talking about Hassan because I am obsessed with Hassan, okay? I can't stop thinking about Hassan. He lives in my head rent free. Okay.
Twitch streamer and political comment.
This is not what I want to know. Okay. Why can't you just give me exactly what I'm looking for? You know what I'm looking for, YouTube. There we go. There we go.
America, Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop.
Did you hear that? Did you hear the poor girl over here? Didn't do anything wrong besides wanting to move, stretch her body, This guy's on for hours and hours and hours, and she's just sitting there in the corner, just chilling, suffering. But, chilling because she thinks she's safe with her owner. But guess
America,
what?
Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop.
She's not. She did not nick her paw, you crazy psycho. Anyways, this is Hassan Piker. So let's look at Hassan Piker's take once again. No, we're not gonna do that. We did that yesterday. Anyways, Hassan Piker is like this huge socialist slash, well, socialist, wannabe socialist. He's like super rich. Anyways, picture Hassan Piker, and then that's pretty much what the left is.
But what are they saying at the same time,
For the
right?
most part.
Globalize the intifada, settler apartheid state, all these kind of like anti-Western slogans. That's what they're really about. And frankly, I'm actually glad in the case of Venezuela, they sort of said that directly to your face, right? They didn't exactly try to hide it or mask it. No, there's the communist flag right there, right? There, it's all over the place. And if you were at all skeptical as to how this...
Okay, you got a problem with another country, you know, practicing what the hell they want?
Party for Socialism and Liberation could manifest itself. According to Wall Street Apes, it was revealed that the hands-off Venezuela protest taking place in New York City.
Let's say there was no oil in Venezuela. We wouldn't have invaded. We would not have taken Maduro. And this isn't like a crazy, well, what if? No, I mean, it's obvious.
Supporting Nicolas Maduro is being organized by the People's Forum. This is apparently an NGO that has received over $20 million from a billionaire who lives in China with ties to the CCP. The NGO's primary funding, over $20 million, comes from Neville Roy Singham, whose residence is in Shanghai and is closely tied to the Chinese Communist Party, too. Which I have to say a couple of things. First and foremost, that's the best China could throw at us, right? They didn't come to...
As a result of Venezuela protests taking place in New York City, supporting Nicolas Maduro is being organized by the People's Forum. Okay, the People's Forum is an NGO that received over $20 million from a billionaire who lives in China with ties to the CCP. Well, obviously, doesn't this happen always? Didn't you guys literally say that that's what happened on January 6th? Even though it makes no sense because then, what, Trump pardoned the infiltrators?
Venezuela or even Iran's defense at all, but hey, we get one protest in New York City. I mean, I guess I'll take it, right? It's like whatever.
All the signs are already propped up. They're just against the walls.
Awesome.
Oh, thank
love
you.
What you do.
Thank you
for everything you do.
Thank you so much. Bless you. Thank
Ugh.
you. Hey, Manolo, how you doing? My name is Nate. Nice to meet you. I'm good. How are you? Would you mind doing an interview right now? Can I ask why?
Everybody's so brave online. Maybe it's silly of me to say that because I'm online right now. Everybody's a coward.
You're the leader of the People's Forum. You got $20 million from Roy Neville Singham to protest. Can I ask why you don't want to speak with me right now? Do you deny that you got $20 million to protest?
This is exactly what the left is. They do exactly what they hound over people. Over.
Secondarily, I would like to point out to this whole NGO nonprofit network, as we've been talking about since the death of Charlie Kirk and what must be done in response.
Charlie Cook.
Hey, U.S. government.
Because of JD and Erica. That's why I said Cook.
If you want to be competent for once, right?
R.I.P.
DOJ, etc. Here we appear to have nonprofit organizations that are giving material support to terrorist organizations. Just a reminder on that, right? What, after all, was the Venezuelan government and Cartel de las Solas operating within it classified as by the U.S. government? A terrorist organization, which means, of course, here you have NGOs staging marches on behalf of terrorists. Just something to keep an eye on. I don't know.
Okay,
but
yes. Both sides are corrupt. All right, I'm kind of tired of listening to this guy. Okay, I got it. I got it, bro. I got it. Don't judge my feet, okay? Oh, okay, good. It was just Arc Raiders. Arc Raider 7. Okay, let's look up the left and Venezuela. I want to look at some screeching.
Okay. As a Venezuelan American,
Oh,
I got
perfect.
some shit to say.
Let's look at some actual
My
people
family,
that live over
my
there.
parents, my sister,
First,
my extended family.
It's like we're prefacing this with people that actually had to live through a dictatorship. In a dictatorship.
All lost everything. Their work, their savings, their investments, gone. Wiped out by a narco-dictatorship that has held Venezuela in a death grip for over 25
This is very dramatic, but I guess I believe him when he says he's from over there.
years. And what happened to my family has happened to millions, and yes, millions. The Venezuelan exodus is the second largest displacement crisis on earth after Syria. This is not just a tragedy. It is one of the great humanitarian disasters of our time. But the suffering doesn't end there. This regime has jailed hundreds of political prisoners. Thousands have been murdered simply for speaking out. More than a third of the population has fled. 1/3. Not for better opportunities or for the American dream, but to survive. To live. Because staying often means death. And while the world may see Venezuela as a collapsed state, what it is in reality is an occupied one. Our territory, our natural resources, and our institutions have been overrun by hostile foreign powers. Iranian militias, Chinese corporations, Russian intelligence, all exploiting our country with impunity. Venezuela is no longer just a local crisis. It is now a geopolitical threat that endangers the entire Western Hemisphere. It has become a launch pad for an authoritarian expansion in the Americas. And in the midst of all of this, one woman has dared to lead the charge for freedom. Maria Corina Machado.
Who is Maria Corina Machado? We're gonna look her up in just... Whoa. What do we hear? That's it. Great. Who is this Machado lady? Okay, hold on. Let me knock in real quick, because I hear that alarm. I mean, someone's nigh. And I'm only got one side of my headset on, so I can't really hear exactly what's going on. Okay. Hold on, give me a second. Okay. Anthony Machado is... Okay, bro, you already know the dealio. Is a prominent Venezuelan opposition leader and the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize laureate. I have no idea what that means. Copy. Paste. Meaning. A person who is honored with an award for outstanding creative or intellectual achievement. Why didn't you just say winner or something? Most of us are dumb, bro. We don't know what that means. As of early January 2026, she is a central figure in the unfolding political transition in Venezuela following the capture of Nicolas Maduro. Wait. But by who? Who's saying that she should be the next in line? Following a U.S. military raid and capture. Okay, there's one. Okay, very nice victory of just. Okay. Wait, where was that?
In 2024, against every odd, she led a peaceful democratic uprising that won the election. Her team smuggled physical voting receipts out of the country, hard proof of victory that the regime tried to lure. Her courage has lit a fire in the hearts of millions of Venezuelans, desperate to believe that change is still possible. But now some have questioned her decision to dedicate her Nobel Prize to Donald Trump. Okay, I get that.
What? What happened?
Have you been seeing these hands?
No.
Okay. As Maria Corina Machado. In 2024, against every odd, she led a peaceful democratic uprising that won the election. Her team smuggled physical voting receipts out of the country, hard proof of victory that the regime tried to ruin. Her courage has lit a fire in the hearts of millions of Venezuelans.
Yes, but we're the one that did all the hard work. Just saying. Not me personally, but the U.S.
Desperate to believe that change is still possible. But now some have questioned her decision to
Is this guy taking credit for that?
dedicate her Nobel Prize to Donald Trump. Okay, I get that.
Okay, I keep getting distracted because I'm trying to focus on...
But here's the truth. Prize to Donald Trump. Decision to dedicate.
Somehow question to dedicate a Nobel Peace. Did she do that? Why did they need a... I bet you he asked for it. I don't doubt for 1 second that he told her, hey, so... You know that Nobel Peace Prize you got there? I mean, we helped you guys out. Wait, this is my best Donald Trump impression, okay? Maria. Okay, now, he probably told her. He probably told her, like, hey, I mean, we liberated your country. I know you've been wanting this. You want to be next in line to lead. How about you slide over that Nobel Peace Prize over to me? You know, I've been wanting one. I made the FIFA make up a random ass award for me. You know, you think you can help me out? And she was probably like, well, you know, how bad would that look? Let me just dedicate it to you. Maybe that's something that happened. Maybe not. But I feel like, you know, today's day and age, anything is possible. Okay, so that's pretty, No, you know what? I'm gonna say that's a good way to say, okay, thanks. You guys just got rid of Maduro, so thanks.
Her Nobel Prize to Donald Trump. Okay, I get that. But here's the truth. It was a brilliant strategic move in the global chessboard of politics.
This is very dramatic.
Maria Corina is no fool. She knows exactly the kind of man Trump is.
Okay.
She knows how
you see,
much
this is what I'm talking about. Venezuelans are not out there chanting, oh, we love Donald Trump because he liberated us. We love the U.S. now because they have taken out this regime. No, it's common sense. These people aren't dumb, and that's what the left thinks. They think that I feel like I'm pretty positive that the left will look at a country like Venezuela and be like, third world country. Is it? I don't know. I need to look it up. But you know, there comes certain connotations. You know, third world country. Maybe people aren't as educated as one might think. But I don't personally think that. I wouldn't care if somebody thought that I think that. But I'm just saying that's how the left operates. They view everybody as you know, they look down on people a lot, but they like to pretend that we're here to save you. They got like this savior complex. The Venezuelans are not out there now praising conservatives or the right or Republicans or Trump. They're saying, I'm pretty sure they're all saying thank you. Hell yeah, it happened. But the left is just mad that the Democrats didn't do it before the Republicans did. That's it. They're butthurt. They're butthurt that... Okay, I just saw a guy, and... I see the guy.
Pew 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 pew.
Putting my gun away. We're just chilling. Just in case. Okay, I'm gonna completely trust this guy. Okay, I was right to trust him. Cool. Whew. The heart starts beating real fast once we call for the elevator there. Okay. Anyways, what was I saying? And now the left thinks, okay, well, Venezuelans, they hate this because we attacked their country. There was no casualties. At least there wasn't any reported casualties. It just looked crazy from afar. We're like, whoa, what's going on? Is this it? Is this the third one? But no. We went in there, we took out, obviously, I'm pretty sure, like, the plan is, okay, we get in there, someone that we know we can control, and now, you know, getting the oil will be a lot easier. If it's not obvious, then maybe I'm just crazy, but I feel like that's the plan. And is it such a bad thing that can happen? I don't know, man. I feel like it's not. I feel like maybe this is going to benefit a lot of people. First of all, so now, and I hate that Trump is going to get all the credit for this crap, but now, I don't know. I feel like gas prices are going to go down. The economy is going to somewhat stabilize, because I never actually believed that Donnie was just going to let everything collapse. It would have looked really bad with his supporters. It would have looked really bad, just in general, you know. The economy is shit for the second time that he's in power. I mean, come on. But no, I'm pretty sure the economy is going to stabilize. We were going on a downward. It was going to shit, okay? Everybody, I'm a subcontractor, so I know the prices of materials. I know what people want to pay because there's not enough money. I know exactly how much things are going to go up or go down. I can tell because I pay attention. It hasn't been exactly bad, you know, since this guy took power, because, to be honest, I've been able to charge more. Not saying that it's a good thing that everything's so much more expensive. Oh, real quick, I'm going to explain tariffs. I'm not going to let this go. I am going to be super petty. Okay, so check it out. I'm going to explain tariffs in the simplest form ever. I've done this before, but I'm going to do it over and over again. Okay, so we got... I guess I'll trade places. Okay, that makes more sense, because I feel like Mirage would be American, and obviously we got Hinata, who is Japanese. Okay, or no, she's not Japanese. She's from the village hidden in the leaf. Okay, alright, so here comes Mirage, and he makes controllers, game controllers, to sell. And you know, a lot of the things that Mirage needs to make this controller, well, he's got them here in the U.S. This is the U.S., right? This is another country, and I am the government. Okay, but you know, one of the more important things that he needs to make this controller, well, he has to get him out of the country. Okay, so what does he do? Well, he's looking for people that can provide that product, and they sell them for a price. And this guy's like, okay, I found one. And here comes Hinata, and she's like, yeah, I can sell you this component that you need, so you can finish making your product and you can sell your product. Okay. And Mirage was like, oh, okay, cool, awesome. Here's some where's my cash? I know I got some cash somewhere. I had some money somewhere. I really want to do this with the money because it's funny. Where did I leave? Oh, just give me 1 second. I really want to do it with the cash because I think it's hilarious. Hold on. Okay. I just saw it somewhere. Okay, I guess it's not happening. Shoot, I thought I had it, like, maybe it's... Nope. Okay, whatever. So anyways, okay, here's some... Damn it, I really wanted to do it with the... It's like this tiny cache that I have. Okay, maybe next time. okay, here's some money, and then Hinata's like, okay, here's the product, now you're gonna be able to make your product. And this guy, Mirage, he sells his controllers now for a certain price. He has to, you know, have in mind that, well, I need to charge this because I already paid this much for the stuff that I needed to make this controller. Okay, so he sells them online or wherever, and people buy it. And now, with the change in, guess what? I'm gonna impose some tariffs. I'm gonna impose tariffs on Hinata's product because I think other countries are looking at us and they think we're weak and they're taking advantage of us. So I'm gonna impose some tariffs. The tariffs are specific taxes on stuff that is bought or imported or whatever. And Hinata is now like, okay, well, you're gonna impose some taxes on this thing that I'm selling to the US, so I gotta go up in price. And then here comes Mirage along and he's like, hey, I need some more of that in price for this controller that I have because I need to make money also. So okay, here's more money for the product that I just bought for less money a week ago. And he's like, okay, thanks, bye. And now Mirage is gonna use this to make his product. He has a controller and he's like, okay, well, now I'm gonna up the price because I need to make money. And the consumer is Coraline's dad right here. And he comes over and he's like, hey, what happened? You went up in price. I just bought this like a month ago. I used it and it broke and now I need to buy a new one. And he's like, well, yeah, but since the government imposed specific taxes on certain imports and stuff that other countries sell to us, I had to go up in price because whatever, because I need to make money. And he's like, okay, well, that sucks, I'll still buy it, but I'm really mad about it. Anyways, the moral of the story is we normies are the ones paying for the tariffs ultimately. Okay, where was I going with this? Why did I bring this up? Is it random? Is it just because I want to bring up tariffs every chance I get? I don't know, I forgot. Anyways, that's pretty much like the simplest way I can explain tariffs. It's maybe I'm missing a lot of critical information, but that's pretty much like the gist of it, okay? We are the ones paying for those tariffs, okay? Don't think that the government did something for our future. And I say the government because obviously Donnie's not competent enough to do something on his own. There's a lot of people moving the chess pieces and controlling the strings, okay? It's not just Epstein's former best friend.
Paying for it loudly and relentlessly to win that very same prize. She knows how symbolic and personal that recognition is to him.
Yes, this guy's smart. That's exactly what's going on. Oh, it's okay. So she knows. That's good. Yeah. Isn't it funny how we're all kind of just stuck, having to put up with all this crap? Like we have to. Like this is real life. I'm actually doing this right now. I'm playing with my Mirage, trying to go live on YouTube.
And precisely because of that, she understood that this gesture might be the thing that keeps his attention focused on Venezuela at a time when U.S. presence and pressure in the Caribbean is rising. She didn't dedicate that award to flatter him. She did it to protect and preserve the one kind of power that could help shift the course of history. Because
probably not in the best way either.
For her, this isn't about pride.
I mean,
it's
for us, yes.
Optics.
Not for them.
It's about freedom.
Because let's say Venezuelans now can, maybe we take over Venezuela and somehow they become like another like Puerto Rico. And, they are part of the U.S., but then these same people that are praising what just happened, not because of the oil, but because, hey, we're liberating a country from its dictator, they go like, well, hold on a second, buddy. Well, hold on right here, buddy. you ain't from the U.S. You ain't an American. You from Venezuela. And then Venezuelans are like, well, we're part of the U.S. now because you know what happened. And it's like, I don't know why. I don't really like your accent. I don't know. I feel like something like that would be completely plausible.
And let's be very clear. Maria Corina is not asking for the U.S. to invade Venezuela. She's not campaigning for war. Venezuela is already invaded. It is held hostage by a narco state, overrun by foreign agents and enemies of democracy, Russians, Iranians, Chinese, all operating freely, weaponized.
What is it that the Chinese are doing in Russia? Like I said, I don't know anything about this, so I'm looking stuff up along with everybody else. Okay, so what kind of what's it called when you do something? When you're like doing something? Activity. What kind of activity does China take part? Let's be a little fancy. Partake in shit. I don't know how to word stuff, so I'm trying my best to make it make sense. Maybe this is definitely not the right way to type it. As of January 2026, Chinese activity in Venezuela are at a critical turning point following the capture of Nicolas Maduro. But why? Historically, China has acted as Venezuelans' most significant external economic partner, providing over $100 billion in loans. Well, don't we all do that? Doesn't every country, almost every country, do that? And investments since the mid-2000s. They just barely started. Getting in late. So energy and soil and oil sector. China is the largest buyer of Venezuelan crude oil, which as much as 80 to 90% of Venezuelans exports flowing to China by the late 2025. Joint ventures, major state-owned firms like CNPC. What is CNPC? CNPC or China National Patrol. Okay. And I'm guessing that's another one. Operate joint ventures with PV. Okay. So I get what this guy's saying now.
In our land and resources to expand their influence across Latin America. What Maria Corina is calling for, what millions of Venezuelans are praying for, is the support of the only military on earth capable of countering that threat and helping to free our people. This is
again, that's not what we're doing yet, obviously.
Not imperialism. This is liberation.
It's imperialism. I'm not saying I'm against what's going on because, like I said, it's probably gonna be a good thing economically speaking. Is it maybe? Does it have? Is there a possibility that it might lead to some nasty repercussions? Maybe, but I'm looking at it in an economic lens.
She's not.
Maybe I'm totally wrong.
Playing partisan games. She's playing for Venezuela's life. Because this isn't theoretical.
It's not in the best hands, by the way. We are we're bullies, dude.
Isn't academic. This is life or death.
Yes, that is true.
So yes, it is time to honor her bravery, but more importantly, it is time for the world, especially the free world, to recognize what's at stake. The fight for Venezuela is a fight for freedom, for democracy, and for the stability of an entire continent. If we truly care about liberty, human dignity, and peace in the Americas, then Venezuela's fight must matter to all of us.
Let's read the comments. America is going to stand with... it's only going to be better if you want Venezuela. So like I know these people are out there on Instagram commenting, "Let's go ICE," after ICE takes someone that is not a criminal but is fixing their papers. Like, you know how they always screech, "Do it the legal way," and then people do it the legal way and they still get booty tickled. I pray Venezuela gets the freedom everybody deserves. Background music is too loud. Yeah, it was a little bit loud. I was wondering if maybe that's how messed up my hearing is. Okay. Live free or die, brother. Glad we could help. I know I'm also saying we, even though I'm not doing anything, but this is just silly. You didn't do shit. Okay. This is what I wanted to read. Help do what exactly? LMAO. America is not going to put no money into Venezuela. LMAO, it's going to stay the same. Actually, that's probably true. You can't be that stupid, right? They're one of the most oil-rich countries in the world per capita. In 5 years, they damn near have streets that... What? In 5 years, they damn near have streets that would rival the nicest ones in America. They'll have... What? So Venezuela is wealthy? I mean, obviously they have a lot of oil, but I feel like in that type of country, in a dictator type of country, I mean, North Korea's stuff probably looks nice. Not as in modern, but, you know, nice and clean and stuff. It's such a dumb argument. Or maybe I'm a dumb argument. I'm so sorry you had to experience this in life. No one should have to live like this. God bless you. Maybe these are bots. And he was not the only one. No one should ever have to go through that. It doesn't matter who you are. So happy. Osamo. Music is too loud. God bless Venezuelans now. Amen. Yeah. I know what type of people you are.
Have you been seeing these hands-off Venezuela protests and wondering who's organizing them? How did they pop up so fast? And why are they defending a brutal dictator? Well, here's the answer. One of the main groups behind these protests is the same organization that helped fuel the pro-Palestine protests across campuses and cities over the last few years.
Okay.
It's called the People's Forum.
Okay, the People's Forum. I wish I had Twitter, but I got banned from Twitter because I am a very chronically online person that talks a lot of smack. Listen, I talk smack in person too. I'm not trying to sound tough or anything or edgy. It's just, it's not like what I say doesn't have, I don't know why.
Far-left activist group based in New York City, and it's funded almost entirely by one man, Neville Roy Singham, a multi-millionaire tech entrepreneur.
I'm guessing this is a Zionist person. I just hate everybody, by the way, except centrists. And I don't get all the flack that centrists get. It's like, okay, dude, we don't want to pick either side because they're both regarded. I really want to say retarded.
Marxist. Singham is married to Jody Evans, the founder of Code Pink, the group best known for storming congressional hearings, smearing fake blood on their hands, and harassing lawmakers in the halls of Congress. Now, let's zoom out. The People's Forum is essentially a headquarters for professional activists. They describe themselves as, quote, a movement incubator for working class and marginalized communities. In practice, from their sleek...
But they're probably just like BLM. They're doing it all for profit. It's all an act. Everything's about money and power.
Midtown Manhattan building, they host classes like Anti-Fascist Theater of the Oppressed, Collage Making for Liberation, and a 6-week course called A Summer School for Socialism. Last year, I began investigating the People's Forum after noticing something striking. They were central drivers of anti-Israel protests immediately.
Yeah, okay. Based as hell. I knew she was a Zionist. I could sniff it from all the way over here. Okay, let me just do this real quick and then... someone's already in there. Should I go aggro? Nah. I'm gonna just be chill. I should switch over to... Nope, I don't have a shotgun. I thought I had a shotgun. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Why do I have a canister? Okay. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this fast. Antiseptic. Yes. Okay. Stuff I get anytime I fight a matriarch anyways. Okay, whatever. There we go. This is what I came for.
After October 7th. One rally they co-hosted took place on October 8th, just one day after the massacre, before Israel had even finished counting its dead. The People's Forum is also behind...
Okay. Ugh, I hate listening to Zionists. Because they're just... The way she said... Did you hear the way she said... when she was talking about Palestine? These people make me sick. Okay. I'm done. Am I done? Everything's good? I got everything? I ransacked the whole place? I don't want to listen to people like this.
This is what I've been seeing on my feed the whole day. You ready? Venezuelans? The left.
We want justice, you say how? Release Maduro right now! Release Maduro right now!
Venezuelans? The left.
Alright, I won't shoot.
Venezuelans? The left.
Hands up, Venezuela! Hands up, Venezuela! Free President Maduro!
Jesus Christ.
Interesting, right? One side celebrates the capture of an illegitimate narco dictator, while the other side wants his release, but I'll let you decide. This is what I've been seeing on my feed the whole day. You ready? Venezuelans?
Yeah, that's okay. Help me make sense of this crap. Okay, I really don't trust people in this extraction point because I've been backstabbed a few times. What is this? Yeah. It's exactly the people you would... No! Okay.
Y'all, I think it's time for us on the left to come to terms with the fact that, dude, Americans, they don't care. They don't care. Right? We've just seen the controversy with Django and Chloe Ferrero. People on the left, they don't care. Liberals don't care. You guys have seen the controversy with me and conservatives, the military people. On the right, they don't care. No American cares. And why would they? We're asking people to do what? Throw away their way of life, their comfort, for people thousands of miles away that they don't know.
What is this guy yapping?
And a lot of us have family in the Global South. A lot of us are from the Global South. I have family from the Global South. Django's half Chilean. You know what I mean? A lot of us, like, I think we need to come to terms with the fact that Americans don't care. And everything we know about human nature and life and history only further confirms that and solidifies that. Now's the time we start doing shit. I think
You're not gonna do
we need to
anything.
be done appealing.
You're
to these
not gonna do anything. The left
It's
always does
never
this.
going to
They
work.
think
Never.
they're like the tough guys. They think they're
Y'all,
like the peaceful.
I think it's time for us
that
to
that
come to
one
terms
quiet
with the
kid
fact
that if you mess with him,
the
he's gonna
Americans, they don't
absolutely
care.
annihilate you. You are
They
not.
don't
You
care.
people are not.
Right?
The
We've
right
just seen
isn't
the
either.
controversy with
Oh.
Django and Chloe Ferrero.
This is so cringy. Okay, what do I comment? Okay. It ain't a bad thing to capture a dictator. Stop watching Hassan. Oh shit. Hassan Diddy enough to count old enough. Shit! Oh, I forgot TikTok has a limit. Alright, whatever. I guess this is not necessary. Okay, I'm gonna add the Diddy though. D. Pike. Had to accept this the last couple of days. Very, very difficult. Yeah. We did it for the oil, not to liberate them. But y'all are losing it. Is that an okay one? Whatever.
People on the left.
Of course, the left cannot be happy for the people of Venezuela being free of a socialist dictator because they love
socialists. Like I said, I'm
socialists.
chronically online.
They love communists. Just look at New York. But
Yes,
now they're calling it
it.
democratic socialism to make themselves feel better and use semantics to pretend that it's different when it's absolutely not. No, the left cannot be happy for the ceasefire in Gaza. No, they cannot be happy for Christians in Nigeria.
Oh, what ceasefire? Was there a ceasefire? Didn't Israel violate the ceasefire? Like, 3... Yeah, didn't Israel, like, completely not respect the ceasefire, like, 3 times? Was it 3 times or 2 times? Definitely more than
Why?
once.
Because Donald Trump's name is attached to it. And anything
I can't.
that Donald Trump does, they have to be in direct opposition to it no matter what.
Trump
Since Donald Trump
doesn't
took
like
office,
you,
he's been
MAGA
signing
doesn't
peace
like
deals
you.
between countries who've been warring for decades.
I know. I live in a dominant white MAGA city, okay?
Crickets. The Free Palestine.
So I know exactly how... So I know exactly how regarded everybody is on both sides.
Venezuela! Hands up, Venezuela! Free President Maduro! La lucha sigue!
Free a dictator. Who is, may I remind you, okay. The crimes of Maduro. Okay. Nicolas Maduro faces severe accusations, from international bodies and is currently facing trial in the U.S. on various criminal charges. These allegations can be broadly categorized into narco-terrorism and drug trafficking. Now, we know the left doesn't have any problems with drugs, and crimes against humanity and human rights abuses. We know the left cares a lot about human rights and humanity, except when it has to do with, well, it was Trump. He captured Maduro, but we don't want to give him credit for liberating liberating Venezuela. U.S. criminal charges on January 3 to... Okay, but I wanna read from like stuff he's done before. Originally on seal in March, he has pleaded not guilty. Okay, all right. Narco-terrorism. Okay, but what happened? Cocaine importation, conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, conspiracy to possess machine guns. Okay. In Venezuela. So, CBS. Do we trust CBS? They lean more left, right?
And now I want to bring in CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson, and this is to talk about the legal case. This is the case against Maduro. Jessica, thank you so much for your time today. Just yesterday in court, Maduro's attorney...
Okay. I need to look up... I need to be more specific. What has Nicolas Maduro done for Venezuela? Nicolas Maduro presidency in Venezuela is marked by severe economic collapse. This is the first thing you read when you look up what has he done for Venezuela. The first thing. And the left is like, free Maduro. Political repression and humanitarian crises, with widespread accusations of authoritarianism, corruption, and narco-terrorism, leading to the international condemnation and sanctions. Despite his claims of implementing economic reforms and maintaining power through disputed elections, he has solidified control by undermining democratic institutions. I don't understand what their thought process is. What is it that they're defending? They're just mad that we once again pulled in Iraq. And okay, in that sense, okay, maybe let's chill and maybe let's help other countries the same way we just helped Venezuela. Other countries that don't have the resources that we need. Like, let's look it up. Which, oh shit. Like Sudan. Are we going to do that? No, of course not. We're not. No. But okay, maybe there's an argument there. But how come are they even looking it up? I'm looking it up on Google. If somebody doesn't like that I look up stuff on Google, okay, maybe I can switch to DuckDuckGo. I'm not really, or I need to download I need to download ground news. That's what I need to do. Let me just do this real quick. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Key actions and consequences. Okay, so authoritarian control. Maduro has dissolved opposition-controlled parliament, filled the Supreme Court with loyalists, kind of like what's going on with Trump. Manipulated elections, and used food distribution for social control, dismantling democratic structures. Economic collapse. Venezuela faced hyperinflation, shortages, and mass emigration, over 7.9 people. This sounds a lot like America. Though Maduro introduced economic liberalization, including promoting US dollar use to counter sanctions. You see, they're in on it. This was not something... It came out of nowhere. I was like, what's going on? This isn't something that wasn't planned. In my made-up fantasy world of I'm right about everything, Maduro is in on it. They know. Venezuela was already planning on getting taken over by the US. I mean, come on. Human rights issues. His regime has been accused of imprisoning political, civic, and military leaders, suppressing dissent, and controlling media. This is very scary because it sounds a lot like what's going on here with us, but I digress.
Of course, that should not be surprising to you that much of this is astroturfed. However, as you could imagine, thanks to the ironically diversity of New York City, you know who else lives in New York City? Not just communists, but Venezuelans. And take a look at these streets as to what happened when they showed up.
Exactly. And it's in front of their faces. But the libs and the lefties that are screeching over what's going on, it's all performative. All of it. It's performative activism. And it's a real thing. And much of the left does it. Now, this video isn't... This live isn't going to be about the right. It's not going to be about conservatives and their hypocrisy and almost everything. But that side has its way of doing it. The way the left does it is performative activism. And this isn't something that's hidden. This isn't something that they even hide. They're really bad at it. And my prime example would be Hassan Piker. I'm gonna keep bringing that motherfucker up. Oops. Because it's the truth. Okay?
Because it turns out that the actual Venezuelan people have a very different opinion on this. Take a listen.
Yeah, I mean, getting liberated from an actual dictator, obviously, it's a good thing. Obviously, the Venezuelans, like you just saw, an actual Venezuelan from Venezuela who lives in Venezuela, he just told us we're happy about this because we might get an actual good leader out of this. The dictator's gone. We all know he's not gonna go back to being a dictator like nothing happened. Obviously not. We're now gonna have control over the oil in Venezuela. That makes sense, okay? Honestly, in my personal opinion, this is a much better option than trying to incite a war with other countries. Trying to go in there and cause what do you call it? What's that word called? What's the word called when you're trying to incite shit? I feel like this is definitely not the... there we go. Okay. Like, provoke a war or a conflict between two countries, because then other countries get involved. Obviously, we were going to go in there for oil. It's been very apparent for a while. Like, why did I look up on Google which oil is better? And it gave me, well, Iraq's oil is better than Venezuela's because of these reasons. Why do we know that? Why? Well, because it was going to happen eventually. And honestly, this is a good way that it happened. Because now the U.S. gets credit for what? Well, for getting rid of a dictator for a country that was pretty much under siege. Okay? And was getting taken advantage by China. Apparently Russia. I didn't look that one up. It looks good on us. It really does. It does. Honestly, I don't see the downsides yet. Maybe there will be, but so far, I don't know. It's been a few days, but still. Honestly, it looks pretty good. And even on Trump, it looks good. Because this was a pretty good move. No casualties. No, we were in and we were out. I need to give credit where credit's due. Exactly. It's right in front of their faces. But what does the left like to do? This. Shit. Where is he?
Rubio repeatedly said he was.
Oh, this is beautiful. He just uploaded again. I get to shit on this guy.
Of exiles
for the second
who
day in a
escaped to America to flee communism following Castro's takeover. In fact, he specially wanted to distinguish between his family's experience and that of immigrants, stressing that the exile experience is different than the immigrant experience. Only problem, the story wasn't true. As the Washington Post revealed, Marco Rubio's family story embellishes facts.
Okay. Wow. Let me just...
All right, we've seen all the highlights on
Joining
this.
me now is Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Secretary Rubio, welcome back to Meet.
Okay, right. I'm gonna just look up stuff that I'm eager to look up as I talk about stuff that's going on. Okay, just, you know, maybe there's someone out there that is also on the same level of verse as I am when it comes to politics and what's going on. I'm not incredibly versed. I know what's going on. I don't know the specifics. Also, I don't care about these people. I shouldn't. Neither should you. You should just be aware of who they are and what they do and their role in the government. Okay, he's an American politician and diplomat, currently serving as the 72nd United States Secretary of State. That's what he is? Okay, he assumed office on January... Oh, you know, okay. As of early 2026, Rubio holds several key leadership positions in the second Trump administration. Secretary is the first Latino to hold this office, making him the highest-ranking Hispanic American official, okay? And you see, stuff like this. Now, obviously, Rubio is a dog shit person, right? But the left doesn't like giving credit where credit is due. The first Latino to hold this office. He's the first Latino Secretary of State. That's a pretty big deal. Did the left care about it? No, it only cares when it's someone on their side. When it's a Democrat, when it's someone that shares the same values as they do, even when their values are silly and a little extreme, they like to believe that they are the side that wants equality for everybody. But they're not really, they don't like to impose those beliefs on they don't like to, for example, let's say, actually this is a perfect example. They don't care that he's the first Secretary of State that is Latino. They don't care because he's not a Democrat. Every accusation is a confession. And that applies to all sides. Okay, so he's a Secretary of State. Okay, alright. So now I know who that is.
The press.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I want to start with this big picture question. Is the United States now at war with Venezuela?
There's not a war. I mean, we are a war against drug trafficking organizations. It's not a war against Venezuela. We are enforcing...
Why are they censoring war? Am I allowed to say war now or not?
American laws with regards to oil sanctions. We have sanctioned entities. We go to court, we get a warrant, we seize those boats with oil, and that will continue. So clear, and we would continue to reserve the right to take strikes against drug boats that are bringing drugs towards the United States that are being operated.
Yes. Okay. The left loses so much. Come on. The left really likes to defend bad people because the people that are taking out those bad people, well, I hear a leaper super close. What was I saying? I don't know.
Created by transnational criminal organizations, including the Cartel de los Sols, of course, their leader.
So, one thing that these people are saying, like people like Hassan, the Cartel del Sol. So they are real, but they're not like a normal cartel. It's more of an organization. I just looked this up yesterday. It's more of like an organization. Different groups of people take part of it. But the baseline is they do pretty much everything that a cartel does, but not in the typical fashion. They do it. Hold on, let me just get in here because it's pissing me off that I accidentally went with, not accidentally, I know what I was doing, but I wasn't paying attention. What was I saying? I don't know.
Or the leader of that cartel is now...
Right, Cartel del Sol, okay. Let's look up Cartel del Sol. Do they operate? Okay. The Cartel of the Suns operates as a clandestine network. That's what I wanted to say. That's the word I wanted to use. It's more of a network instead of like, people gathering and be like, hey, this is what's going to happen. Okay. Within Venezuela's military. What? The left is defending this crap, by the way. Okay. Functioning more as a collection of drug trafficking, why can't I say that word? Cells than a traditional cartel. It's not on. Focusing on facilitating cocaine transport from Colombia through Venezuela to Europe to the Americas, utilizing military assets and high-ranking officials for logistics and protection. Holy crap, that is not what I imagined. That's how they operated. That's insane. Anyways, one of the left's argument is that when it comes to this specific topic is that it's not real. They don't exist. That's it. That's the whole argument.
On U.S. custody and facing U.S. justice in the Southern District of New York.
Yeah,
and
U.S.
that's
justice.
Nicolas Maduro. So we made a big progress.
Anything to do with the U.S., America, they hate.
That regard.
By the way.
Mr. Secretary, who is in charge? Are you running Venezuela right now?
Yeah, I mean, I keep people, fixating on that. Here's the bottom line on it is we expect to see changes in Venezuela. Changes of all kinds, long-term, short-term. We'd love to see all kinds of changes. But the most immediate changes are the ones that are in the national interest of the United States. That's why we're involved here, because of how it applies and has a direct impact on the United States. Okay.
Well, no. The president literally said because of the oil. It's like, stop pretending like it's not because of that. We want the oil. We wanted it, and we got it. And that's just what happened.
We are not going to be able to allow in our hemisphere a country,
like I said, hypocrisy on both sides. They both
that
do
becomes a crossroads for the activities of all of our adversaries around the world. We just can't allow it. We can't have a country where the people in charge of its military and in charge of its police department are openly cooperating with drug trafficking organizations. We're not going to allow that. These things are direct threats to the United States, and we intend to use every element of leverage that we have to ensure that changes. The one I would point everyone to is that our military is helping the Coast Guard conduct a law enforcement function, which is not just the capture of Maduro, but the enforcement of our sanctions. We go to court, we get a warrant, we seize the boats. And we think this is tremendous leverage, incredible, crippling leverage, which we intend to continue to use until we see the changes that we need to see that are benefit to the American people. And by the way, we believe to the people of Venezuela as well.
But Mr. Secretary, I think there's...
What a second thought, huh? Translation. I didn't pay attention to Trump when he said we were doing it for the oil.
There's a lot of questions about who the point people are during this transition. President Trump said we're going to run the country. So is it you? Is it Secretary Hegseth? Who are those people who will be running the country specifically?
Well, it's not running, it's running policy. The policy with regards to this.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. Trump said we're going to be running everything.
Certain direction, because not only do we think it's good for the people of Venezuela, it's in our national interest.
Why
it
is
either
it
touches
good
on
for
something
the people
that's
of
a threat to our national security, or touches on something that's either beneficial or harmful.
And are you involved in that transition,
so obviously
Secretary?
I'm very involved in this. Well, of course. I mean, I think everyone knows I'm pretty involved on politics in this hemisphere. Obviously, as Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, very involved in all these.
I'm gonna give you guys some deep lore here, by the way, and this is the same for Marco Rubio as it was for many other Cuban American politicians for some weird reason. But so many Cuban American politicians in the country will claim they hate communism and Fidel Castro and stuff. They'll be like, oh, Fidel Castro like stole my parents' property and whatever. Almost all of them, including Marco Rubio, came into the United States of America escaping Batista. And their family members have actually gone back to Cuba after the Cuban Revolution. So they're actually just lying. It's one of the strangest things. There are I
hate the way Hassan always talks in exclamation marks. It's one of the craziest things. He's never specific.
Fuck ton. Obviously, like, Cubans now is different, right? Because it's been so long. But so many Cuban Americans, their parents actually fled Cuba before the revolution. They actually fled Cuba during the Batista regime. Isn't that crazy? And then they've spent their entire lives railing against the group that actually liberated Cuba. It's a fascinating phenomenon. Ted Cruz has done that as well. Here.
Look, my father was imprisoned and tortured in Cuba. I hate communists. It was actually Batista that tortured my dad.
Fulgencio Batista was...
Yeah. Yep. Ted Cruz's dad, too. Bob Menendez, that's another one. Bob Menendez, when he was caught with gold bars, was asked
You're
why
so
he had
bad
gold
at
bars,
the
and his
game,
defense
little
for it
bro.
was, oh
You
well,
gotta shoot
when my
people in
family
the back,
fled,
little bro.
when my family
That's okay.
fled the Castro regime,
Good for
in
him.
Cuba,
He got my cool guns.
we
but
learned that we
I
have
got
to
what
put
I-
like a lot of our
I got
wealth
what
in
I
gold
needed,
bars so we can
and
like
that
actually,
is-
take our assets out of the country. His family did not flee under the Castro revolution. His family actually fled under
Antiseptic.
Batista. Yeah, will never not be funny that Marco Rubio's parents left Cuba
I'm very pissed.
during
but I'm
Batista's
gonna
reign, but he told
control
people
my
during his
rage.
campaign that they fled Castro.
was on me.
I've recently
It was on me.
realized there are many Cubans
paying
whose
attention.
parents and grandparents fled
I
Cuba
would've
during
had that,
Batista's
though, if I
dictatorship, but
wasn't-
over time the family story
if I was,
became
like,
that they had
totally
fled
locked
because
in.
of Fidel.
It's Hassan's voice. That's what fucked me up.
Someone was telling me the story of how their grandparents was imprisoned by Fidel even though they got here in 1957. Like, bro, your grandpa was a victim of the US-backed dictatorship. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild that they just... Like, the wild part is not that they're lying. The wild part is I kind of feel like they believe the Cuban Revolution. So they're actually just lying. It's one of the strangest things. There are a fuck ton, obviously.
Oh, that's right. Hassan Piker supports what Fidel Castro was doing and all that stuff. This guy's obsessed with just shitty people.
Like, Cubans now is different, right? Because it's been so
Cubans
long.
now is different?
But so
Cubans
many,
now is different?
so many Cuban Americans, their parents actually fleeced the regime. Isn't that crazy? And then they've spent their entire lives railing against...
I could have used the bombs that I had, but I keep forgetting that I have like those little grenades. Whatever.
the group that actually liberated Cuba. It's a fascinating phenomenon. Ted Cruz has done that as well here.
Look, my father was imprisoned and tortured in Cuba. I hate communists. It was actually Batista that tortured my dad.
Fulgencio Batista was...
Yeah. Yep. Ted Cruz's dad too. Bob Menendez, that's another one. Bob Menendez, when he was caught with gold bars, was asked why he had gold bars, and his defense for it was, oh, well, when my family fled the Castro regime in Cuba, we learned that we have to put like a lot of our wealth in gold bars so we can like actually, you know, take our assets out of the country. His family did not flee under the Castro revolution. His family actually fled under Batista. Yeah, will never not be funny that Marco Rubio's parents left Cuba during Batista's reign, but he
told people during his campaign that they fled Castro. But yeah, Marco Rubio's a jackass.
Fled Castro. I've recently realized
They really think they dunk on obviously regarded people.
there are many Cubans whose parents and grandparents fled Cuba during the Batista dictatorship, but over time the family story became that they had fled because of Fidel. Someone was telling me the story of how their grandparents was imprisoned by Fidel even though they got here in 1957. Like, bro, your grandpa was a victim of the US-backed dictatorship. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild that they just... Like, the wild part is not that they're lying. The wild part is I kind of feel like they believe the lies. Because it's so common. It's like almost collective hysteria. Why would you lie about that? That time when Marco Rubio pretended his parents fled Castro, fled from Castro for political gain. A day after Rubio had to amend his previous statement about leaving politics, it's worth remembering that Rubio has built a career proving that Floridians can't take him at his word. For years, Rubio peddled a theatrical version of his ancestry. In great detail, Rubio repeatedly said he was the son of exiles who escaped to America.
Damn it! He got my freaking... Wait, did he? He did. Yep, he did. Ah! Why did I not use... Also, why did I back into the corner like a... Ah! Okay. Alright. It's cool. It's whatever.
To flee communism following Castro's takeover. In fact, he specially wanted to distinguish between his family's experience and that of immigrants, stressing that the exile experience is different than the immigrant experience. Only problem, the story wasn't true. As the Washington Post revealed, Marco Rubio's family story embellishes facts. Instead of fleeing Cuba following Castro's takeover, his family immigrated to the U.S. on a commercial flight in 1956, well before Castro took Cuba, and returned back to visit several times. And immigration documents show they had always...
I don't know, bro. I feel like you're You're honing in on this, even though it doesn't matter. Like, your point is, like, they lie about certain communist countries. Okay.
That was going on? That's a Roach Watcher? What, is that the new meta?
Holy crap, this guy's gonna bring up Asmongold. He cannot stop, and the only reason he's bringing up, he read that comment, it was to bring up Asmongold.
Hate to break it to you, buddy, but I'm an American citizen. So, sucks to suck for you. That's gotta actually hurt.
Holy crap, he's like containing himself.
Hurt a little bit for a lot of people, right? Like if you're the proud son of Americans, you know, white working class Americans, and you got a dude who has a dual citizenship, born in the United States of America, and in the eyes of the government, unironically is a more valuable person than you are. Like, given the amount of taxes I pay yearly, the American government would literally kill you if it meant preserving someone like myself. How does that make you feel? That's gotta really suck, right? Muslim, communist. And this government would literally shoot you in the face if it meant protecting people like me. Think about that a little bit. Perhaps getting more racist is not gonna save you. Just saying. I'm just waiting for him to have a take on this, but I guess maybe the government agents came to his house. Okay, chill, Kaya. Is America just an worse, openly irredentist? I mean, it's just openly imperialist. Whole thing was, of course, overdetermined, but seeming like order of influence was border Gusano lobby, China hawkery, resource imperialism. Kaya, sit. Okay, there you go. She doesn't have a collar on. You always have the most Cliff Farmable shit of saying things. What do you mean? No, she's going.
What do you mean? It's English. Learn English.
On a walk. That's why she's excited. That's why she went from. That's why she went from sleeping, like being knocked out, to jumping out of the bed.
I want to read it. Walk? Kind of crazy that they're called the warm lobby. Walkies. Wait, Happy Tail. No? Yeah, actually, yeah. Probably Happy Tail from not getting shot. Let's just watch it one more time. Man.
But yeah, this got a sting. Do you not say place anymore? No, I do. I do it all the time. You might have to remember, you have to realize, like, I'm live for 8 hours a day. You're probably not catching me saying it.
You know, our nation was forced to absorb over 500,000 Venezuelans. So now that's the kinds of chaos.
Venezuelans?
Chaos, and I think it was.
Yeah, people mispronounce shit all the time. You have done it also.
Was appropriate and surgical.
It's not a secret that the U.S. doesn't actually care about Venezuelans. We did it for the oil. How many times do I gotta say it to myself where you can't hear me because you're super far away?
This wasn't a war.
Yo, have you seen the video of the Hassan Piker effect yet? I haven't, but I assume that it's a garbanzo, right? Someone made a video on why Asmongold gets more views than you. Oh.
Like,
no,
you don't have to read this. You do not have to read these comments. But he does it because, and I'm making a video on this, he has a humiliation fetish. Just like a lot of people, apparently.
You lost. Imagine losing this hard to Trump. Wisdom, Lamafau. Nothing. Ha ha ha. Bro hasn't been watching the news. My video on you was accurate. You love to oversimplify and push disingenuous talking points. Do you believe you look at topics with critical thinking? Do you see nuances in everything? I do. Shit found in the toilet type audience? Yeah. I like that he was actually hawking his own personal video. He was doing self-promo. You know what? I like that, chatter. I hope you have a wonderful career ahead of you. Seriously. I do wish Asmongold would talk to you. Yeah. Well, I think we both know why he won't, right?
Because
he's
you
got
are
a lot more.
disingenuous and you would just talk over and screech about stuff that you claim is true but isn't, or you misinterpret. Okay. All right, come here.
Aura than me, and he doesn't want to lower his aura. He doesn't want to mog me too hard. That's what I think, at least. debate you directly? No, he won't, because he doesn't want to mog me. He doesn't want to destroy what remains of my diminished charitability. Why do you think you get less views? Real talk. Asmongold has always been a much more popular, much larger content creator than me for years and years.
I have no idea what they're saying 'cause I can't hear.
Not only that, but also, have you looked at the internet? Like, I would free scroll Twitter real quick, but I don't want to get banned. There's a lot of right wing. There's a lot of right wing commentary out there. I mean, you yourself are right wing. Do you think perhaps it's because you're biased that you think he's more right, or do you think it's because he is just more right, and that's the reason?
Like, you don't have to read this crap. I don't know why he does it.
Reason I'm centrist. Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that he pulls from all political corners?
Hilarious.
I'm centrist.
Someone is saying,
Brother, you celebrated Donald Trump winning. I don't understand. I mean, why is it that everybody that claims to be a centrist always ends up being right wing? It's just so strange. Yeah, I guess like when you
holy
I have yet to, in my 34 years of being alive, I've yet to encounter a person who's like, I'm centrist. And then when we scratch the surface of their ideology, they reveal that the secret position that they're ashamed of revealing is that they actually want free healthcare for everyone. You know what I mean? Like, it's always like, I'm centrist. And then you...
What? What even is that reasoning? Okay, I'm a centrist. Yeah, that universal healthcare would be awesome. Are you kidding me? Actually, that's one of the things I wish for the most. Where's the...
Ask them stuff. You ask them a couple questions about immigrants, and they're like, well, they should probably stop doing mass rapes on white women, you know? And it's like, well, that doesn't seem like a centrist position, you know? That loser got banned from Roach Chat half a year ago for being a weirdo, and they're still dick riding. Respect. Respect, brother. I do support Trump because of what he does, but hate how he does it. I like what Trump does.
Okay, well, that guy's just...
I hate Trump. I was saying you're mad. I like what Trump does. I don't like how he does it. Okay. Yeah, you seem like a centrist. I just, again, so many people who say they're centrist, when you scratch the surface on their thinking,
yeah, this guy knows everything.
Very
about
quickly reveal that they're not, you know, they're not really.
How would you even be able to reveal that?
Centrist at all.
Like...
I think what you're looking for is, the word you're looking for is confused.
Oh,
right?
Jesus
and I think
Christ,
we'd do better if we just acknowledge that. Like a lot of people, if a lot of people are not being cynical when they say they're centrist, but seemingly like hiding their right-wing positions, perhaps they're just confused and don't really understand that they're right-wing, maybe. And that's fine. For the longest time, we had a lot of people like that in this chat. Not so much anymore because of all of the confused people deciding politics on.
What is it with this confused people? Like you're not the one glazing literal bad people, but being on the side that's super progressive and they want rights for everybody. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about, little bro?
On the virtues of whether they like a particular content creator or not. So I don't think you're like, maybe you're not necessarily like cynically hiding that you're a right-winger or whatever, but maybe you're just confused about it, you know? Because the line itself has moved far left, my friend. I wish the line had moved far left, brother. I fucking wish. The Overton window doesn't exist in his age anymore. The mainstream left is now Sneeko. The mainstream right is Andrew Tate and Fuentes. Mainstream left is now Sneeko. Okay, dude. What are some of the things that you think moved to the left? I guess like Eileen right. Ooh, okay. Look, we're making progress. Not purely centrist, but I'm more centrist than most right-wing people. You do know it's a spectrum, right? No, I do.
Yeah, that's right.
I do know. Of course I know it's a spectrum. And of course I know there's nuance to this stuff. It's not black and white. Except you just said the line moved so far left. And
that's what happens when I'm paying attention.
I don't think that's...
I completely ignored Hassan for like... Jesus Christ, sorry. Exactly the amount of time I needed to. Oh, right. Gotta clip that. Ah, crap. My storage is like full. Okay, hold on. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. Because I feel like this guy's gonna have some cool stuff. But I know he was here with another guy. He had a bunch of cool stuff. Why did he need my stuff? I don't like doing this, by the way. I literally do not like going toe-to-toe with other raiders. Like, it pisses me off. Especially when they do it, like, they start shooting you in the back. It's like, at least, like, just do it in front of me, to me. I'm doing terrible. Yep. Fucking pussy ass bitch. You're so fucking weak, you gotta fucking take advantage of me, bro. Fucking shit with you fucking retarded ass players. Watch out in there. They're not friendly like at all. They're gonna shoot you. Don't go in there. They literally shot me for no reason, by the way. Like, I literally did nothing to these fucking assholes.
The case, so why do you not have any nuanced thinking when it comes to left positions, for example? This guy saw this meme and it changed his life. Yeah, the left me. He's like, this is me. This is so me. I totally get it. I go for policy. I agree with you on healthcare 100%. Okay. It doesn't seem like you prioritize healthcare that much, though. Because if you did, you'd be on my side yelling at Donald Trump. Because he doesn't give a fuck about healthcare. And neither do the Democrats, really, which I yell at evenly on this issue. See, do you understand why when people say I'm a centrist and I say, you're probably a right-winger, this is the reason. Because a lot of people say, I'm a centrist. I think healthcare is good and everyone should have it, right? Great. Clearly, healthcare is not as high a priority for you, though. And the things that you prioritize, if you like what Trump is doing, but not the way he's doing it, clearly you probably think that there is like a massive wave of migration that's like ruining the country, for example. You know? Like that is the highest priority for you.
Can they not
so
see me?
obviously, if you have a hierarchy of different things that you care about, and the highest ones align you with Donald Trump, it would be ridiculous.
Okay, what? So now, like, people are teaming up? I defended myself. That's all I did. I defended myself, and now I'm getting matched with aggressive-ass, weak-ass players that can't actually play the game. They just want to go in and get easy kills. Crap, I need to tell this guy that they are not friendly at all. Shit, don't move. Are they gonna get that guy? Hopefully they do, so that can distract them. They're luring that guy in. Crap. Shit. I was really hoping they were gonna... Yeah, they saw me. Okay, he went the other way. Alright. That's why we play the waiting game. We're patient. Nothing's going on. Oh, the fucking guy can still hear us. Is he coming this way? Okay.
For me to say that you're a centrist just because you want health care, but not for all, right? But
Yes,
I do
for
think
all.
that if I were to have a conversation with you about what policies or what you
You're not as
believe,
cynical
right?
as you are, Hassan Piker. Hassan Diddy.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. I'm policy based just because I'm not 100%.
I want to give the context for that real quick.
That's the legendary question of all time. Old enough to
Yeah,
count,
believe it or not.
old enough to mount? Question
guy.
mark. I want to say thank you to Miley
Oh, actually, the rest of
Cyrus
this is
for showing off her camel toe at the VMAs the other night. I always knew Hannah Montana was a little slut. Don't even try to hide it.
Minor.
Look, this is a
Mostly
classic
serious,
example of what happens when your father doesn't pay attention to you. You turn out to be a slut who's craving for attention, and then I tend to pick you up at a bar late night and bang you out on the first date.
lovely.
That doesn't mean I'm right wing. Why do all leftists label without seeking nuance? Chatter. I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying that this person made a video about you 5 hours ago on their sad YouTube channel. They're trying to figure out their rent next month. I know, I'm entertaining it. I like an enterprising young man.
What?
Who is probably
I have a centrist to
45
talk shit
years
about
old.
you. I literally
And
have
I
a
suspect
really
British.
good job.
You're talking to a Nazi, by the way? I doubt that they're a
Ah,
Nazi.
Jesus
You're in this
Christ,
TikTok,
Domino's.
CC Clockcast interest chatter?
Claiming that they're moderate when they're obviously right-wing. Okay? I've never encountered another human being that's been like, oh, I'm a centrist or I'm a moderate, and then lo and behold, it's a big secret, but they were actually liberal.
I'm bringing it back to what I said in this video. Conservatives, alt-right, chuds, losers, all of those people know what they believe is deeply unpopular and deeply unsettling to most of the population. But they have to hide it. They have to keep it from other people. They need to obscure your understanding of their beliefs in order to still be accepted within popular society. Because they know once they have been outcast, there is only one place left to go, and that is basically pandering to one group of people. You can no longer have any type of creative pursuit, or in the, more popular sphere of the world, any type of dating pursuit once people understand
This guy's a One Piece anime critiquer. He's dope.
you are a chud conservative who believes that
And you're a fake anime watcher.
women shouldn't be able to vote, or we should kick all immigrants out of the country, or we should have an ethno-state. Once your views are found out, once they are understood, you can no longer run away. And Hassan is 1,000% right in that video. No liberal, no leftist hides their views.
Yeah.
Nobody says, I'm a centrist, or I'm a moderate, or I'm...
As a matter of fact, I go so far as to say some leftists can't shut the fuck up about their views. I'll take it.
Like you. What's this guy yapping about? Like you. You're describing yourself. You absolute troglodyte.
One step further. Okay?
Okay, here he goes. He's gonna be edgy.
Maoist, third worldists, or anarchists, or Marxist Leninists, Trotskyists, like they cannot consistently needle in their marginal ideological delineations with regular frequency. It's obnoxious. I wish that leftists would maybe shut the fuck up sometimes, okay?
Yeah.
But
We all
they
wish
never
you would
do.
too.
They are endlessly
Not
open
leftists,
about their worldview,
Normal people
down
wish
to the
you would
wire, and they will make it your problem if you don't fully subscribe to it. That's how it is. I am a centrist of the socialist variety, okay? That's the kind of centrist I am.
All right.
I'm a big tent, left-wing kind of guy. I'm a big tent anti-capitalist, big tent centrist on the left.
not political. when you have a deeply held belief that all people deserve a right to a decent life. Because that is nothing to be ashamed of, but by being a chud or being a
This is how
conservative
right-wingers
who
talk about
believes-
you? Yeah, except I don't really hide my perspectives at all. That's why it's so funny when every time, like, someone to my right, doesn't mean that they're like a far-right figure or whatever, tries to make a YouTube video about my perspective, they will always use clips from my stream or clips from like the fucking podcast that I'm on or something where I'm openly revealing, like, you know, I don't immediately go fucking hard dick mode when I'm talking to someone about, you know, my worldview.
My heart is beating out of my chest right now. Because with my bad luck, there's a rat that's gonna come and take me out. Alright, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it! This is the first time I've pulled off an extraction like this after getting downed. Can you hear it? You probably can't hear it. But it's like, it's
You
pumping.
know? That doesn't mean that I'm like sheltering people from my perspective at all, but I just talk to people in the language that they understand.
This guy thinks you have amnesia level IQ, Hassan. You're not smarter than a lot of people. You're not smarter than most people. You are baseline right there, right along with the rest of us. Okay? Jesus Christ.
Ethan Klein is who I'm talking about.
Oh
Of course.
God, bro.
Of course, the one that
He absolutely. I'm not.
went, the one where he was like, "Oh, we caught him. We caught his like true ambitions, which is to surely."
Now, Ethan Klein is also another jackass. My problem with Ethan Klein, my issue with Ethan Klein, is not that he's Jewish, but he shits on conspiracy theories, even the ones that make a lot of sense. Now, I believe the reason we still won't accept conspiracy theories, a lot of them, that the ones that make sense, is because we're just, you know, we're too scared to look silly. But, you know, a lot of them are evident. Too much stuff makes sense. And it's just, dude, if we could please just accept the fact that a lot of the conspiracy theories that have been around for a while, like, they make sense. They make sense, and it's not crazy, especially not today with everything going on.
radicalize the population. It's like, no, that's not my, like, that's not hidden. Like, I say it all the time. Yes, I want to make people more class conscious.
Bro, this guy's not real, dude. Holy crap. No, dude, he doesn't even give any leeway for nuance when it comes to the other side trying to give him any opposition, even when they make sense. No, this guy will not accept that, no matter what. He's not trying to make anybody conscious about anything. He is a grifter. He's a grifter. Just like anybody on the right that's grifting everything that's going on, and you know, they're all mega, ultra mega. This guy, I have not seen him talk about Palestine. And it's like, what happened there? Because he doesn't care. He doesn't actually care about these issues. He just likes being relevant because he's an insane narcissist. And that's my problem with the left. Now, this turned into something completely different, but it's relevant, okay? Because this is the essence of what the left spews out. Very
It's not
hypocritical.
trickery. If I
Like, with what's going on with Venezuela. Listen, obviously the U.S. did it for a reason, and it's known. They're not hiding it at the very least this time around.
say it with my chest all the fucking time.
And these people have
you groomed.
They're super popular. Like, their thoughts, they don't stay in a little bubble. They spread like cancer. Is why I am also screeching about this. because it's just so crazy how these people can just convince a lot of other individuals that aren't exactly well versed in politics, or they're like, well, I'm just living my life, what's going on, what can I do? And those are their primary victims, because this guy is losing popularity, but he's still very prominent on the left.
That 40-year-old man, yeah, into socialism. Maybe Hassan was right, something positive for once. Recently seen on the Destiny subreddit, maybe Hassan was right all along, and America is bad. Found on a thread about the Venezuelan illegal act of war. I know that.
Okay, hold on. We've done bad stuff. Okay. We've done some crazy shit. But there's a reason why everybody still wants to move over here, because the U.S. is still the greatest country in the world. We're just being ruled by crazy people that work for one side, okay? And we all know what that one side is. I'm not gonna say it because it's YouTube, but if I was in Rumble, just picture this. If I was talking like this in Rumble, then I would say it in Rumble.
Being Cuba, many of them will realize one day Hassan has been more consistent than any centrist liberal ever has been. One day. But yeah, true. Dead Palestinian children won't move them, but an occupation in Greenland will.
And this is they just use the dead Palestinians to block any type of criticism, and use them as argument points in argument.
Well, it is what it is. Easier to pin the ladder on being a uniquely project of Trump, which the Democrats say is bad. That's most of the moral clarity they'll need to figure out whether they support something. They cared about the wall until they didn't. Hopefully AOC's tear ducts have healed themselves. One of the best things about being left-leaning is that it reduces your hypocrisy levels by at least 98%. The thing is, because it reduces your hypocrisy levels, they will find a way to make it look inconsistent. Stop reading Reddit. It's my Reddit. Chatter, shut the fuck up. I'm reading.
This guy hates his fan base, but his fan base loves him, adores him. They will defend him no matter what. But this guy absolutely hates him, bro. And it's so funny to see almost every single time he uploads, he berates his audience, and it's really, really pleasant to watch.
It's a positive Reddit thread. I guess we're too late now, since Epstein's community finally recognized reality. I don't think they fully will recognize reality, because there are a lot of people who have just completely dropped all notion of like a broader policy perspective at all, and they just only run on hate. They only run on hating content creators that he has identified as like enemies of him.
That poor people should just die in the streets. Of course you have to fucking hide it. And like I said, when it comes to dating, it is so explicitly unpopular, and for some reason conservative men are obsessed with liberal and alt women. They have to hide it. I promise you, go on Twitter. Anytime that people start bringing up moderates or centrists on any dating app that you can possibly find, they are always the same. They are...
No, I'm not a conservative. I genuinely believe both sides are schizo. I really, really do. Like, there's something wrong with people. I believe there's something wrong with people like Hassan. I believe there's something wrong with people like even Asmongold. Okay? Now, that guy might seem like a centrist, but no, he glazes one side more than the other. But he refuses to actually show everybody what he's actually like. There's got to be some type of cynicism there.
Always conservatives, alt-right, chuds, losers. And it's so patently obvious to see.
Hey, listen. I'm a lot of things. I'm kind of slow at work, but because I'm very meticulous, and I like to leave everything real nice and smooth and make sure the customer likes it. I'm kind of lazy. Maybe it has something to do. I go to sleep late. I don't keep up with my schedule. I procrastinate a lot. But a chud, I draw the line right there, bucko.
Like, there's There's no hiding it. There's no obfuscating it. The second that any actual conversation comes up about your values, it comes bleeding out of people. And what's even funnier is the people who hold these kinds of beliefs will come into my comments and say
I don't expect the leftists to know this, but Ben Shapiro, Riley Gaines, and Steven Crowder are moderates.
things like Ben Shapiro, Riley Gaines, and Steven Crowder.
I don't expect the leftists to know this, but Ben Shapiro, Riley Gaines, and Steven Crowder are moderates. What does that mean? Well, yeah, people like this, they do. Obviously, they're gonna hide their actual beliefs because they want to seem. They don't want to get shit. How do I explain this? Like, they believe, because I feel like that's something that a centrist would think. I'm trying to get in their minds because I got different. Like, my beliefs align, I guess, closely to theirs because they like fakes like these. Well, I guess they want to believe that they're gonna have better opinions on topics that both sides argue on. Maybe that makes sense.
Are the moderates. The level of self-reporting going on is fucking bananas. So
okay, but also it can't be that deep every time.
You believe we should have some kind of ethno-state?
And this is the side that believes. This is the side that moral grandstands a lot, even when they're wrong, and even when they know they're wrong, and even when the facts are right in front of their face, like what's happening with Venezuela.
Believe people of color shouldn't be pilots. You believe.
If you actually believe there is a political spectrum, can you give an example of a true centrist? Not really, because I don't fully subscribe to the political spectrum. I don't think it's like that at all. Especially not like that in America as well, where there is no ideological investment, and there's no consistency in people's worldview. Centrism isn't really a position. It's just it constantly moves. As society becomes more progressive, the center moves to, technically, the center is supposed to move to the left. An example I can give you is like the generation that is alive now, like Gen Z is infinitely more pro-gay, right, than the generations prior to it, right?
A lot of people have been pro-gay before. So many. We just barely started actually fixating on the sides that care more about one thing than the other, and then that's when conflict just becomes prominent because we're fixating on stuff that we shouldn't, that we should come to an agreement, or maybe we should come to terms like, okay, you guys are not going to agree with us on this, fine, we still are, and then that should be the end of it. No, because of social media and how easy it is to communicate with people, we can now just go on all day arguing and calling each other nasty names. You know what? I'm gonna stop using my cool guns because I am scared I am gonna lose my cool attachments. The all reliable. Oh shit! I got cool attachments on this one too. Okay, that's all right. Or should I? We good? No, we're not.
Millennials and Gen Z are far more pro-gay. They might be anti-trans, but they're far more pro-gay.
Isn't that weird? Yeah, what he's saying is true. There's a lot of people that are on the right that they don't mind gay. They just hate trans people. I guess it makes sense. Like, hey, don't go against God. God created it, but they're okay with gay.
Right?
Just some. A lot.
They are
a lot.
super pro-gay in comparison to boomers are. Let's be real. Come on, guys. It's just not. And on that front, the reason why they are pro, not across the board, like across the spectrum, but like pro-gay, is because it's become normal. It was always normal, but it's become normalized. It's legal. The culture. There's no like right-wing cultural force that's trying to.
Maybe that's why, because it's legal. No.
Tackle existence of gay people that has reached any sort of serious like it hasn't reached any sort of like serious popularity, right? So that's what it is. So I guess like in that regard, a centrist in this day and age will probably still have pro-gay positions, whereas a quote unquote centrist.
Wait, why do you think? Does he think that centrists don't want rights for everybody? Dude, yes. I know what this guy's thinking. He's thinking, oh, right, that they lean more to the right, that they're actually right. Okay.
40 years ago would not be pro-gay. Okay, you understand? You're either pro-queer or not. If you're not pro-trans, you're not pro-gay. You're just fixated on trans people for the present moment. I agree, but it is come on, chatter. People who are pro-gay weren't fucking pro-trans back then either. Okay, what view is too left-wing for your liking? I don't know. I can't think of anything right.
It's too left-wing.
No.
All of the insane stuff, like women shouldn't.
What view is too left-wing? Mine, personally, men and women's bathrooms. And let's not pretend like the left didn't want that. They were gonna fully support that, okay? They were. And it's not okay. I think they deserve their own bathrooms. I feel like that would be fair. That would make sense. Because they just want to, like, everybody to just get used to everything right away. And it's like, no, it takes time. Also, I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I personally, I got kids. I wouldn't want on some random guy in my daughter's bathroom. Not calling trans people that are women guys. I'm just saying, like, imagine. Okay, maybe it's not the same thing. Oh my goodness, I got dropped in a really good spot. Yes, this is a really good spot. If you're playing Ark, if you're starting Ark, go on spaceport. Make sure you stick to these tunnels. This is how I got these tunnels. This one tunnel right here. It helped me a lot when I barely started playing Ark Raiders, because there's a lot of loot here. So it helped me progress the game at a very good rate.
Be allowed to vote anymore? The Civil Rights Act should be repealed? You should only have a say if you're a
Veganism is too. This has nothing to do with politics. You're talking about worldview desensitization. You're not talking about the left as a whole. You're talking primarily about progressivism. This guy clearly needs help. Not a single good argument. I'm sorry you lost this one. Have a good day. The left called the right Nazis while policing every little thing the right believes. South African, appreciate you pulling me up. I'm a oh my god. Surprised this guy didn't actually offer or seek refuge in America against the white genocide that's taking place in his country. But anyway, I don't know why we went on this fucking pivot here, this random tangent, but let's get back to
because you're insane.
Stephen Goebbels.
Important topic.
That pat of shit is a clip of him drinking Coke from his shoe.
No!
I'm not even trying to be mean about it. I'm just being completely honest.
Bro, why does it taste like that? Oh, it's wet for proof. Can you make crunchy?
Wait, what happened? What is this guy gonna bring up? Isn't this about Venezuela? That's why I clicked on it, to be honest. Okay, again. Let's move these now. Look at that.
There's like sand in here, bro.
I mean, I've done some dumb shit in my day too. I'm not gonna hold it against them.
The premier of Greenland and the premier of Denmark and other Danish officials are responding to a Twitter post from your wife, Katie Miller, herself a former Trump White House official, showing Greenland covered with an American flag, saying soon. After that was posted, President Trump repeated the claim that the U.S. needs.
Okay, well now
Greenland
he's gonna go get
security.
all the stuff that I was gonna get, so I guess I should just turn back because I don't want him to start shooting at my butt. Ominous. All right, let's go back.
Reasons. The Danish Prime Minister responded to this in an interview earlier today, as reported by Bloomberg. Quote, I believe one.
That's it. This was a year ago? Whoa.
Street clashes turn deadly as Venezuela's power struggle deepens. Fatal violence comes out.
Let's look at Hassan's opinions on Venezuela a year before. Is this a year? July 2024. It was a year ago.
Both President Nicolas Maduro and the opposition claimed victory in the presidential election. More protests were taking place on Tuesday. At least 16 people, including one soldier, have died, and about 750 more have been arrested as a result of the protests in Venezuela. Following the
What the? Am I? This is really good timing.
highly contentious presidential election over the weekend, according to rights groups, government officials, and relatives of victims. Election officials declared the nation's autocratic leader, President Nicolas Maduro, the winner of another 6-year term early Monday, saying he handily beat former diplomat Edmundo Gonzalez. But the government has not released the full results, and many countries, including the U.S., have said that the vote was marred by widespread irregularities. Both sides of the country's political divide called on followers to take to the streets, which resulted in deadly clashes on Monday. Demonstrations continued on Tuesday, signaling that the crisis was far from over. Hundreds of people gathered early Tuesday outside the United Nations office in Caracas, the capital, denouncing the official results. "We are totally united," said Robert Castellanos, 46, a chef who was an election monitor in his district, where he said Mr. Gonzalez had received 3 times as many votes as the president. This has been the biggest fraud in the history of Latin America. I don't know the exact details, but in prior elections with Maduro, there has usually been there have been outside observers, like third-party monitors from the EU. I don't know if they have outside observers in this one. The opposition leader Maria Corina Machado released data on Tuesday night that she says she showed Mr. Gonzalez, the candidate she backed, winning the presidency in landslide. The opposition's updated results using paper tallies observers collected from 81% of the nation's voting machines show that Mr. Gonzalez had won 7.1 million votes, or 67%, versus 3.2 million, or 30% for Mr. Maduro. So the thing is, I don't trust the American State Department or the Office of the Americas. OAS, the State Department, is basically never going to be.
Okay, so he just, I mean, this guy's so frustrating.
Be honest about this sort of.
So he's not going to believe it because, you know, the sources are the U.S.
Historically, they're never honest about this sort of shit. But this actual election does seemingly have a lot of irregularities that haven't been present in previous elections in Venezuela even. So we shall see. But if they had third-party observers, National Lawyers Guild electoral observers praised fairness, transparency of Venezuelan election process, condemned the U.S.-backed opposition's refusal to accept the outcome of the democratic election. But like I said, we shall see. Ultimately, I don't know exactly what the details are. I do know that there are obviously people with interests, in a changing of the guard in Venezuela, specifically the American government. Having said that, Maduro is not necessarily a good person, nor a good leader. He's just not. I would say that.
Okay. He's talking about the fact that he just doesn't want the U.S. to intervene. Okay. Where is it? I know I hear it.
That he has relied on Hugo Chavez and Chavistas to maintain his grip of power. He's aggressive, to say the least. And ultimately, I don't know what the actual decisions are here that happen, but I do find it rather ironic that so much of the narrative here in the United States of America, the narrative with migrants are actually Venezuelan migrants, which we have offered temporary protective status to for political reasons, because we want to launch a Venezuela.
See what I keep saying, it's been planned. It was the plan all along.
Venezuelan opposition here in America.
We already knew who we were gonna invade next. Shit. Okay, just please. No.
Like we have one for Cuba, and part of the reason why those people are fleeing Venezuela, aside from the political repression of the Maduro regime, is also the crippling sanctions on the Venezuelan country. So the irony is, like, we're creating all of the the migration patterns into the United States of America, but this one we're directly responsible for. But yeah, Maduro has also, on the issue of foreign policy, alienated other Latin American socialists and socialist adjacent left-wing administrations, including talking about invading Guyana. Classic. Just a classic thing that people that are losing their grip of power.
Like, why can't lefties like this? Why can't they? Why can't they criticize bad people the same way they do here in the U.S.? Because they're here in the U.S. Because if it's American, if it's in the U.S., if it's in power, they don't matter. They are absolutely against it. Absolutely, as in the word absolutely. It's lost a lot of its power, but absolute, like. Okay, hold on. I need to run real quick. Time to get the freak out of here.
like to do to galvanize nationalistic sentiment. So there was that. It's a situation where I think the Venezuelan people are stuck between a rock and a hard place ultimately. But I don't.
What would be a solution? He doesn't talk about it because he knows a solution would be, well, what if the U.S. intervened? But he also knows, well, I can also talk about the fact if we do, I can talk about the fact that, well, it's not right. They're not doing it to liberate people. They're doing it for the oil, which obviously he's right. But he's also saying that they shouldn't, that we shouldn't. It's like, yeah, we should. I don't know, man. It seems like they're happy about it. And that's going to be, shit, I don't have space. That's going to be it. This was a slow one. But I talked about the stuff I wanted to talk about. The left is just as crazy as the right. And tomorrow we're going to cover the right. We're going to cover about how crazy they are and how hypocritical they are acting. And now that we invaded Venezuela after the president promised, hey, you know, America first. And we're going to focus on America. And we're, you know, let's stay out of other people's stuff. No, they just went right along with it as soon as it happened. They were like, yeah, liberating other countries. We're not going to stay out of another. We're still going to fund Ukraine and Israel. This guy sucks. But at least it's good to know that he is still the same amount of schizo. Just now he's more frustrated about it, so he seems more pissed. Okay, where am I at?